Oh man. I like to
Yeah.
welcome y'all to episode 3 of OG Talk with Skywalker the Jedi, featuring Mr. Wes Ashley. This is such an honor for me. Just personally, right? This man has like been one of the pillars, in you know, release the Snyder cut, restore the Snyderverse, right? Just this entire time, and he's been doing it his own way, which I think is also super important. And I just want to kind of highlight that on my platform. So, yeah, this man needs no introduction. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I appreciate it, man. You speak real highly of me, man. I mean, I don't know. I think we was just making a podcast and that
Yeah,
shit just happened like to be legendary, But I appreciate it, and all the people that helped us put them shit out, helped, come on and gave me interviews all the time. But we was at the time we was doing that shit for like a common, we wanted to get that movie out, And we knew, well, at least I felt, and I still feel, the release the Snyder cut is just the first domino of that shit. And now,
absolutely.
now they know, dog, we can get 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 people online just talking about it all day. So we're not gonna give you shit. Just keep talking. So now that was the first domino to everything. Everything is, I think we just had to knock down that first door, bro. So that's what we did, though. You know, we
Absolutely.
put all our focus on that first door.
Absolutely, yo. Man, this thing, like, I believe that release the Snyder cut, like, it changed the world, yo. And I say that in, so this is the first time that I can ever remember like a multi-billion dollar corporation actually like being forced to do something that they really had no interest in doing, and fought against the entire time, and had to be taken kicking and screaming right through this entire process. And
Hell
then
yeah.
to not only then have it be greenlit, but then also to try to sabotage it the entire time throughout
Constantly,
the lead up to its
constantly.
release. So it's
Hell
really
yeah.
just crazy. But recently it was Father's Day, right? Yesterday. One of the biggest things that I also respect about you is just your influence on your kids as a father, right? I don't have kids myself, but I feel like being a father is like one of the most important jobs that you will ever have in life, right?
Hmm.
So I want to say Happy Father's Day, right? And can you talk a little bit about how your day went yesterday and just how important is fatherhood to you?
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. That's the biggest thing, man. That's the biggest thing in my life. Actually, my kids got me into the Snyder Cut movement because
Oh,
they used to watch this shit in the background. It just be like, we had a summer one time. I think it was like the 2016 summer, and they were over here a lot. So they used to watch like Chris Wong's videos.
oh
So
yeah,
I used to hear them while I'm walking around the apartment doing shit. I used to
yeah,
hear them saying dumb shit, or what I perceive like,
yeah.
the corporations don't work like that, shit like that. But my kids grew up because I like the Nolan. I come from like the Nolan era shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then I grew when they were born into me just getting a bunch of Batman shit, a bunch of, watch. They knew all the Nolan shit, because we watched those movies religiously. So then now it was now the Zack Snyder's turn. So they're
Yeah,
kind of they're kind of putting me on to the shit, you know, um, kind of just in the background. I'm hearing stuff they watch. They used to watch like Totally Random. They used to watch Chris Wong,
hmm
and So I'm telling them, I'm like, yo, I can make y'all a podcast like this. And they
Yeah.
were like, all right, let's do it. So I made them a video, and they put their video out first because they put it on YouTube. And then somebody said, yo, somebody hit me in the comment section. I think Fiona hit me in the comment section. Fiona was like, yo, put the hashtag on this shit. And I said, and it's like 2016.
Yeah.
So she said, yo, have you heard of this thing called Vero? I said, nope. She said, yo, go to Vero real quick. She started hitting me up in the inbox, and she was like, yo, this video is telling the exact truth of what happened, but Zach can't say that, right? But she said pretty much like, watch this. So it's a kid's video of them talking about Jeff Johns and how they sabotage Zach and all this shit. A kid's video, my kids that I just made. Fiona done shared this shit with Zach and showed me some shit. Zach said, yo, this is dope. So then I think either Fiona shared it or Zach shared it. Somebody, but it blew up to where everybody hit me up on Vero and within like a few days. But it was a kid's video. They only hit me up because I'm not letting my kids talk to people on the internet, right?
Absolutely.
So then after my kids went back to school after that summer, I just kept it going by making my own podcast. So the same people that's been hitting me up through my kids video, I was just like, yo, let me interview you. Let me see who you are, So maybe I got off the point, but Father's Day is huge because let's say, so me growing up, I didn't grow up with a father. It was just my mom raised us. But so when I had kids, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of that, because I think really to have your father in your life, you can go so much further, bro. You could,
Absolutely.
I was good in sports, but my mama was at work. She couldn't take me to practice. So my best sports days was in the hood, like some people got like, high school days and, going to college and shit like that. But I think if you would have had like a daddy in there, he could take you to practice. He could, talk to your coach or some shit you might be confused about growing up. Your daddy can tell you that shit. Your mama probably can't really, she can hold you down, but she probably can't tell you that shit.
Absolutely.
So I was on some just trying to do the opposite of my daddy. And it turned out to be where I think my kids are my best crew. I've been in so many crews, but imagine a crew of many versions of you that listen, Imagine you could tell, you and your real crew, you can tell everybody, I got a plan, blah, 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 blah. Some dudes might go with it.
Thanks.
Some dudes might be like, I ain't with it, blah, blah, blah. But your kids, I got a plan, X, Y, and Z. They all like, we rolling. So then I learned my kids they're the best crew. They're just little versions of you. So I just invest time and just everything, though, because one day my kid's gonna be what I think at the legendary level that I could have been if I would have had mama and dad. You know what I mean?
Oh man, look, I can speak to what you're saying personally, right? Because a little bit about my history. I grew up with both parents in the house till I was about 12 years old. And then my pops went away for a little while and then came back in my teenage years. But I would say the path that I was on with both parents in the house was incredible, right? And then that time that I didn't have him there was so detrimental to everything that I had been working towards, right? And then when I got him back in like those, like, because the years that I was missing out on him being there were like my formative years. And those were like very crucial years, like 12 to like 16. almost 17, right?
Hell yeah,
So
development years.
yes, absolutely. And so, you know, when he came back, um, he was in my life, and he was able to do some of those things that you were just talking about, right? Like taking me to practice and
Yeah,
trying to keep me focused and all that stuff, and could absolutely explain the stuff that the coach couldn't
right,
explain. Right?
right.
So, yeah, you know, I've seen it both ways,
Yeah,
right? Where I was on a great path, and then when he was gone, like everything kind of like crumbled,
hell
right? Like,
yeah,
you know, so you were absolutely right with
right,
saying what you said.
right, right. So I appreciate that question, man. That's for the kids, bro. That's big, you know. And Father's Day was great. The kids bought me a Buffalo Bills shirt. Um,
Um,
I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and we went downtown with, you know, I had my sister's kids also. We went downtown, hung out. Um, it was a fun day. We made a video. I got another video with my kids coming up. It's a taste test video. I'll probably edit that shit up today. But they did a taste test of a chicken sandwich. It was a good day. It was a real good day, man. A real good day. How about you?
Absolutely. Oh man, I don't have kids, right? But yeah, I absolutely had a fantastic day. I hung out on the beach and stuff, man. You know, it was great. It was vibes all day long. So I
Word.
had
So
a pretty cool day too.
you're in a coastal town. Where you from?
Man, well, I grew up in Inglewood, California, right?
Word.
But I was in the army, so I've been like all over, man. And now I currently live in Long Beach. You know what I'm saying?
Word. LBC. Huh?
I live like on the beach, so it's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
That's
uh,
what's up, dog. That's what's up. You're a legend, then, dog. If you live out, you getting that beach life. That's legendary, bro.
hey, man, it does wonders for your morale, right?
Right.
Like, you know, it's very hard to be mad when you just have these kind of vibes, right?
Hell
Pretty
yeah.
dope.
Hell yeah.
Um, yeah, well, you're gonna be editing your kid's video later, right? I'm probably gonna be going live later, and I want to kind of get your live take on what I'm about to say.
All right. Word.
Zack Snyder today posted a photo of himself in front of the Pasadena City Hall building. All
Mhm.
right, with a selfie about Father's Day. Okay, I know exactly where that is. Okay, I go to that area every year to the Pasadena Convention Center, which is around the corner from that exact same spot, right?
Mhm.
Less than five, it's like a 5 minute drive. 5 minutes away from there is a sharpening service called Man of Steel Sharpening. All right.
Right.
So,
Right.
um, you know, I don't know if like people understand the way that Zach kind of communicates with his
Communicates.
fans,
Right. Right.
right? But I found that to be highly suspicious
Right.
that he literally dropped that today. Just somebody told me earlier that they thought I was kind of reaching, and I had to explain myself, right? But do you think that that is a reach for me to say, like, yo, I think that he just confirmed that he's working on Man of Steel too?
All right. I wouldn't think that's a reach, but I know how Zach communicates like that, so I know what you looking at. So,
Yeah,
but I would think he would be on Man of Steel too, no matter what, you know,
right.
because why not? You know, that's the thing about it. That's once that first domino was pushed over, they
Yes.
saw that this, you know, they saw that they made a mistake pretty much. But
Yeah.
um they as a business, as a corporation, they're gonna want to capitalize on this mistake. And to do that, they want to keep going. Plus, if you look at the Snyder cut, it's made to be parts of a continuation movie. You know, like it's supposed to be a sequel to that.
Absolutely.
Right. Plus, if
I
you
mean,
look
why
at
wouldn't you want to? Like, the
right,
movie ends with the Justice League staring down Darkseid.
right, correct.
Like,
It's
I have no idea why you would not want to continue that storyline.
right. Yeah, it's made to be the perfect part one. You know, it's made to be. Plus, look at this. Look at this, bro. If you really look at Darkseid when he comes on the screen, or decide when they come on the screen, it's meant to be in a movie theater look. You know,
Yes,
it's meant to be huge. It's meant to be towering over, you know, with a movie screen is huge, bro. You know, that's what it's meant to look like. So at that time we wasn't allowed to be in the movie theaters because of COVID and blah blah blah. But now that we are, Warner Brothers has Warner Brothers got the key to the city. You know, they're not gonna put it out. Is what I'm trying to say. There's no way they're not gonna put it out. So you see kind of shit line up right now where people are getting fired, people are losing their jobs, and you know, I saw something that said Warner Brothers was supposed to only want Henry Cavill for Superman. I don't know if that was true or not, but it seems like everything is lining up for this shit to continue in the movie theaters, you know? I
that's
don't
all.
see why not. The
That's
smart
all.
choice is to get Zach to finish it out, you know? The smart choice.
Especially after the mid reaction to the Batman, right? You
Yeah.
have this thing that came out last year. You know, I have said that, it doesn't really matter what kind of release that they do, even if it's a limited release. I think that it's going to make more money than any other limited release probably ever, right? So once that happens, right, I don't see why you can't or why you wouldn't continue this thing theatrically. Like, it just makes no sense.
It don't make no sense. And I don't think that corporations gonna work like that. It just don't make no sense, you know? Like with Star Wars, and it was like, yo, Star Wars don't make no sense to not have Darth Vader in that bitch, or Luke, or
Yeah,
a mention of them in that shit, you know? So it's like they had to do it. No matter how old Luke and Leia look, they had to be in that shit. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So it's like, damn, if they don't do that, they're leaving this huge bubble of potential money
absolutely,
on the table. And I don't think they operate like that, you know? So
not at all.
you know, I think they look at that huge bubble of money and they go after that shit, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, because it just makes no reason not to. I mean, the movie's already out. You could just put it out in theaters, even if it's like a Fathom events type thing, right? Where it's only a few theaters and it's only a couple showings, right? I mean, I think that it could easily be done, and it's gonna make mad money. So, you
Yeah.
know,
I think definitely Man of Steel. What did you say? Man of Steel 2? I think everything is gonna come out.
oh
I
yeah,
just think we made too much noise online.
yeah,
We made too many people, because I remember, bro, when I used to talk about Zack Snyder, because I talk mostly on my Facebook page. And when I used to talk about Zack Snyder on my Facebook page in 2016 and shit, nobody even knew who Zack Snyder was. They remember the movie 300. They were
yeah,
like, yo, you know, and I'm from Charleston. I'm on the whole other side of the map. But, you
hmm,
know, if I was to be like, yo, you know who Zack Snyder, they were like, But if I was to be like, yo, you remember the movie 300? Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that movie. Well, that dude is doing Superman and Batman, and they were
yeah,
like, oh, really? You know, but then over the years, I've talked about it so much on Facebook. I can see now it's a household name.
oh
And
yeah,
other people, my homies, they did it too. They talk about it all on their social media. To now, Zack Snyder is a household name. Zack Snyder is like probably the most sought after director
easy,
in the world, bro. You know,
easy,
like
easy,
he's still getting number ones, trending on Netflix awards just because of what we blew up online, bro. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
and I'm not making that shit up. You know, so now if the corporations see that they're gonna milk that shit, bro. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, let's just stop fucking with those guys. No, they're gonna always. Yo, they was trying to destroy us. They was trying to sabotage us while they still had their jobs, bro. They had, just we beat all them boys, bro. You know what I
We did.
mean?
We did.
We beat all them boys, bro.
We knocked every single domino out the way. That's why it's
Hell
so
yeah, man.
comical when people be like, "Oh, WB don't want to work with Zach." I'm like, none of those people are there anymore,
Right, correct.
except damn Hamada, and he on his way out
He
anyway.
on his way out too. Right. It was a regime of people trying to bring in that Disney shit. And that
Yes,
Disney shit, they were trying to, Disney was trying to take over the whole industry before
people
streaming.
call me crazy when I bring that up, though. I'm like, yo, they were trying to do a crossover.
Right, correct. They were, and they probably gonna still try, because that's a big bubble of money too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think they probably, but they were trying that crossover shit because Marvel was so big. But Marvel don't got the fucking Superman character, the
no,
Batman character, Wonder Woman character. Wonder Woman, the first time she was on a movie was, Zack Snyder shit, in his universe, so
and I always tell people because I was at the Chinese Theater, which is the biggest theater in Southern California, and it fits like 1,000 people. IMAX, crazy. Wonder Woman, when she saved Batman's life, that is the loudest reaction I've ever heard in any movie
really,
theater. And
hell yeah,
I see I've seen so many movies in IMAX at that theater. So
yeah,
even in game, there's
right.
been no other louder reaction that I've heard personally than when Wonder Woman saved Batman's life, and that is
That's
a
what
fact.
I'm talking about. That's what I believe you. That's a fact. That's what I'm saying. Marvel didn't have that,
No,
like they could put on with the Hulk. He was, but we talking about Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in one movie. We talking about them boys fighting Doomsday in one movie. So imagine if that would have had the theater run of what Disney had, right? It would be crazy. But think about this. Now they're allowed to do that, because one, Marvel, you know, Marvel ain't really doing shit like that no more. They probably still making I don't even know. I don't even watch Marvel, but the feeling of superhero movies is kind of gone, eh, or it's on its way out. And I think the only one, if they want to continue this shit, the only one left that can continue this shit is Superman, Batman, blah blah blah, and they have a perfect start. Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, they're already ready. You know what I mean? So I think the corporation's just gonna get back on that bike and ride that shit, bro. I
yeah,
think everything is coming, bro.
yo, like it's so funny because I'm seeing more chatter now about like movie talk being dying and like things like that and just the comic book genre dying. I think that what's about to happen is
Right.
about to be a huge injection of
Oh
grade
yeah,
A adrenaline, right?
it is.
Because um that's what was really lacking. And that has been what I've said this entire time, right? Is that competition breeds innovation.
Mhm.
Marvel had no competition
Right.
for like this stretch of time, and you see what they've done with that time, right? I mean, they've kind of like blown their load, right? And you know, things now are kind of up and down, right? In
Mhm.
terms of what you're getting. I thought that Doctor Strange was cool, but it was a bit of a missed opportunity, right? So you have this state where Marvel's kind of like teetering, and the perfect thing to kind of combat that is to bring back Zack Snyder and to fully flesh this world out, and you know because they haven't really done that from the get-go. There was no
Right.
like real belief in what he was doing. It was
Right.
like kind of halfway in, halfway out, right? They
Mhm.
should have put that 3 hour cutout of BBS. I feel like if they would have done that, we don't even live in this world where we had to restore everything and kind of get it back, because the public perception would have probably been different, would have made that 1 billion mark, and they probably would have continued. But you see that they were already sabotaging, Suicide Squad and all that stuff too. So
everything.
They were always kind of half in, half out on Zach, and I feel like this is the first time that he's gonna really have that backing to flesh everything out.
Right, correct. Because they were trying to stream and shit. They were going, the whole industry was going towards streams, and Zack Snyder is a big theater director, Plus,
absolutely,
these movies are like Superman and shit. They should be seen in the theater. Like, imagine. All right, so now let's say this: they're going to their streams, and then they had to figure out, is Zack Snyder cool on the internet? And we showed them he's cool on the internet. So now they, they got a big theater director that's now cool in streams and trending on Netflix and all of this shit because we interjected that life onto the internet, And so now, man, there's no way they're not gonna fuck with us, bro. There's no way they're not gonna continue making every one of these movies because, man, like you said, you heard the biggest ovation when she saved Batman's life, and that was dope. That's a memory, and but how many people really seen that shit? Not many, not many people still know the legendary movie BVS is, bro.
Yeah, man.
This girl,
it's an absolute masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
It's an absolute masterpiece, yo.
Right.
I even will go to say that scene between Superman and Lex on the rooftop is like one of my most favorite moments in all of cinema history. Like, I absolutely adore that scene. It's perfect from start to finish, with all like the underlying themes and text and the visual cues. Like, it's a perfect scene, and so people, it just went over everybody's head, it just really went over everybody's head, and now it's starting to get that kind of praise that it should have gotten. Like, they're changing around now, like, oh, BBS was actually a masterpiece. Why this Martha scene is actually very like caring and all that other stuff or whatever. It's
the Martha scene was the dopest scene. They just finished fighting. When they were fighting, I was like, good Lord, bro. Fucking Batman beating the shit out of Superman. I would never think like that. But then, and then you start seeing some of the remember the Dark Knight Return comic cartoon, the animation.
Yeah, I have it on 4K. Wonderful, wonderful.
You start seeing Zach with little ties into that. So then you're like, then people start talking shit about the Martha scene, and I'm like, yo, how did you just miss the greatest fighting scene you've ever seen in a comic book movie? Like, yo, that Martha scene.
Not only that, nobody knew that they had the same name. Nobody ever brought that up, right? Like, I never even noticed that they had the same name. The same name, and I feel like they didn't get that. Him doing that, it not only just kind of pulled him out of the rage that he was in, but it also humanized him to a great deal. Because Batman never looked at him as being human the entire movie. He was calling him an alien and all this other stuff, and he was never humanized. Right. And so it was the combination of those two things that kind of made that scene what it was. So
you're exactly right, because think about it, like you just said. Think about how Batman looked at him. He probably looked at him the same as him beating up and killing a gray alien. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then when he said Martha, he morphed into a human. He like, oh, he's not a little gray alien that I'm gonna just murder.
And he's a human. And on top of that, you have a human woman that comes and dives in front of him and is willing to give up her life
Right.
for him.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
that also played a part. And he's
A
like,
part.
wait a minute, like, bruh, I've been kind of tripping, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
I've been tripped. But yo, look at this, bro. Let's just put it on out there. Y'all, we all saw all of Marvel's movies, right?
facts.
We all we I didn't see them, but I kind of know the most important things
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
their universe, right? There was still nothing more important than Ben Affleck beating the shit out of Superman, bro. And no movie that Marvel ever did, bro. There was nothing better than a BVS scene. One scene destroyed, and now they're showing, how everybody been copying Zack Snyder. Everybody,
Yeah.
has, been, taking his, his scenes and putting them in their shit. But we've been saying that. But what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is, still nobody even knows what BVS is really.
Yeah.
If I'm telling, I was saying, this girl asked me the other day, what's your favorite movie? I say BVS. And she was like, what is that? She still didn't know. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. Dog, I've been talking about this shit for years. Batman versus Superman, bro. So then she was like, because people think, they probably get like superhero fatigue, or it's been
Yeah.
so much superhero movies. They still haven't given credit to the best one, though. The best one
Oh,
by far, like, we know and we see, and now people are putting together like, I saw this comparison scene the other day of Christopher Nolan and Kristen Bell, the fighting scene on the roof with Catwoman and Bane, and they're fighting Bane's thugs and shit like that. They put a comparison scene to that versus Ben Affleck in
oh
the
yeah.
warehouse,
Oh my God.
scene.
It's not even close.
It's not
It's
even
not even
close,
close.
bro.
It's
But
not even close.
but everybody know the Christopher Nolan movie. You know what I mean? Everybody remembers that, but nobody know the warehouse scene, and it's not
But
even close, bro.
it's not. It's not. Right?
Right,
Like, yeah. I've always said that, the Nolan movies, they were great, but what I would say is that the action scenes looking back weren't the best, right?
right,
It
right,
was a bunch of jump cuts, right? And I never really got that martial arts feel from Christian Bale, right?
right,
Not only that, right? I'm not like a small guy, right? When I look at Batman, I want my Batman to like intimidate even
right,
me, right?
right,
Where I wouldn't want to run into this dude.
right,
I'm sorry, but when I see Christian Bale, he's
right.
not intimidating
He's
to
not
me,
that dude. Right, correct.
right? When I see Ben Affleck's Batman and then you morph that with what he did to them dudes in that warehouse, I don't want no parts of that.
I don't want no
You
parts
know
of
what
that.
I'm saying? I don't want no smoke with that guy.
Right,
Like I don't want no smoke with that dude, right? So
right,
yeah, man, the BBS warehouse scene was like the Batman Arkham games come to life,
right.
and it's incredible, and it's the perfect Batman fighting scene, and it
Hell
will
yeah.
probably only be topped by the
More
Batman
Zack Snyder shit.
Batman versus Deathstroke. I don't know.
Right,
That was
right, or that.
woo!
Right. Oh man, Batman, Deathstroke, Ben Affleck wrote that shit. Oh, but yo, what they need to do is they need to get back on the train with Suicide Squad
Oh
and
yeah,
and tease it a little bit more. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because Ezra Miller having his shit, so he's going through. I don't know what they're gonna do with that movie.
yeah.
Because he's going through so much shit in the background. But I
I'm
think they
thinking
need
HBO Max, yo. And they might
yeah.
HBO Max that shit. Call it a day. What I'm saying? You ain't going Disney Plus me. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that shit probably going on HBO Max. Fact.
Dog, he killing this career, bro. Like, god dang, dog. We were all kind of excited for Flashpoint back in the day, dog, because we were thinking, Flash. All right, remember Flashpoint, the animation movie? Everybody, that shit was kind of cool, dog. Everybody was kind of wanting to see Bruce Wayne and Thomas Wayne, you know?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yo, Zach
Right,
had already laid the groundwork. He
right.
cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which is perfect. And he
Perfect, bro.
cast Maggie from Walking Dead as
Right.
his mom,
His
which
mom, right.
means she would have been the Joker. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, like that.
Right.
I mean, that was
That
goat
was
level
already been
casting once
right,
again.
right, right. That was yo, man. And then they had it. He was in
I'm,
the beginning scene when Batman.
I'm getting chills right now, just like really
Right,
thinking about that. Like it's
right. Dog, it's legendary, bro. Why would they not do legendary shit? But now I think they are
yeah,
because I think we showed them we only gonna settle for legendary shit. They tried to greenlight a bunch of bullshit ass movies, Wonder Woman 84, all that other, Shazam shit. But they tried, bro. That shit didn't work. We stayed fast and we was constant. We're gonna tell you what we want and we're gonna tell you what we don't want every day, until we get what we want. And so now they should see what we want, They should understand by now, bro.
man. All right, yo, that was like kind of like a long intro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't even really asked my first question yet, right? But we just been getting into like,
We get there,
yo,
bro.
you know what I'm saying? But look, first, I want to ask you, yo, like, one, when did you really realize that you were a Zack Snyder fan, right? And what movie was it that really kind of got you there, right?
Oh man, it was around the same time, bro. It was I remember 300. So
Mm-hmm.
then I remember the slow down like fighting where it was like slow motion spinning
Yeah,
and that shit was legendary in itself because I haven't really, Matrix was doing all that shit, but I haven't seen it like was done in 300. But
yeah,
but the crispness, the how clean that movie looked, how it was like green screen and all that shit, but it just looked so fucking good. So then I
yeah.
was I
Hold on.
was
I didn't even know that that movie was shot completely indoors until like way after it came out.
right,
I was
right,
like, yo, wait, they shot that whole damn thing
right,
indoors? Like,
right,
right, okay, so
exactly.
absolutely.
I didn't know like until like you said, way years later. But so I think I got that and Watchmen at the same time.
Mm.
But But so I'm like a conspiracy theorist type dude. So
Oh, yeah.
Watchmen had all the conspiracy theories in it. So I'm like, yo, who the fuck? What director is
Ozymandias
this,
and all
dude?
that, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dog. Who
Like a
is
Dr.
this dude?
Manhattan.
Right,
Right?
Dr. Manhattan. He had the Rockefeller Institute in that bitch. He had the smoke. You know how everybody think the JFK. I was talking to my homeboy the other day how JFK in real life, there's a JFK conspiracy it's called the smoking gun that said over on the grassy knoll there
Yeah, the
was
grassy
smoke
knoll.
coming from some kind of weapon. There was smoke, not
Yeah,
in the depository. It was over on the grassy knolls. There was
yeah.
smoke. Zack Snyder in his intro of Watchmen put the smoke as the comedian with a
Really,
cigar after he took the shot. So
facts.
he took a real life conspiracy theory, which
Yes.
pretty much everybody knows this wasn't no Oswald shit from the everybody know it, but it's not facts yet, but everybody
Right.
know. So you got a director that put this in his weird tie-in intro with some cool ass music. So I was like, whoa, who is this dude, bro? So like, what is so I watched this whole movie. So more conspiracy theory, the smiley face killer, the Watchman button, the smiley face with blood on it. So the smiley face killers are these crews in like New York of around the Summer of Sam that was really probably in real life responsible for the Summer of Sam murders, not just this one dude that
Yeah.
scared the whole of New York. It was a crew called the Smiley Face Killer. So now all you seeing all this shit in this one movie, bro. And I you know, I was like, yo, this director is onto something. He's not
Yeah.
he's not playing, you know, like some directors are scared to say shit like this because, you know, it usually ends bad for you. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Kubrick
yeah,
was Stanley Kubrick was like the last one that was really, really saying some shit in his movies, and you know, he ended up dying. So I saw Zack Snyder just pushing the envelope, and I saw him pushing the envelope. At the time, Christopher Nolan was getting all the credit for his Batman series, and he was pushing the envelope, the Batman series. But I think Zack Snyder was pushing it even more. You know, I think he was pushing the envelope even more. And I think at that time in life, we needed to know this type of shit, or we needed to just we just needed to see that from Hollywood at that time. You know, we just needed
yeah,
to see a difference because Hollywood was being so Disneyfied. It was being so commercial and funny and happy and but fake. You know, it's not real
yeah,
life. It's not like the Watchmen was. You know, Watchmen. Um, it within that Dr. Manhattan's girl is cheating on him with another Watchman. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you looking
right.
at this shit like, oh, there's a rape scene in this bitch. You know, like, oh my god. You know,
With superheroes, right?
with
Yeah,
superheroes, it was too much, bro. It was like it was because at the time the superhero shit wasn't even out like that. It wasn't even, you know, what I think the superhero scene really got big with Iron Man. You know, but
yeah,
I think Watchmen was ahead. Wasn't Watchmen before Iron Man?
yes, I believe so.
Yeah, right. So Zack Snyder was putting this shit out like you got to thank Warner Brothers for greenlighting that shit, but at the same time, Zack Snyder was pushing the envelope. So that's what I really gravitated to, and I was like, yo, if this dude is doing superhero movies, like really, he got Superman. All right, so
Yeah,
he's about to do
yeah,
Man of Steel. This same dude, fuck it, I'm behind that bitch 100%. So I watched Man of Steel. I remember seeing the first trailer was
oh man,
Superman shooting up in the sky, like
yeah,
making sonic booms, like poof, poof, poof. So I was
yeah,
like, wow. I
yeah,
was going like, word, all right. So, and I always go to the kid movie with my kids, and
yeah,
they were getting more amped. So, um, once I saw their reaction of like Superman, but actually it looked good, you know, it looked
yeah,
dope. So that's how I jumped in this. Whatever Zack Snyder needed at the time, support online or anything. I mean, if I need to interview his fans or whatever, bro, like get this out. I want to see this. You know what I mean? So
right.
whatever it takes, whatever y'all boys need me to do, if it's gonna get us to watch his superhero shit, that's what I'm gonna do.
Man. See, and I also want to thank you, right? Because as you just said, you know, you were kind of you were kind of interviewing people back then to kind of help things, right? And um just trying to get that word out there. And now with you coming onto platforms like mine, I can really see how you're kind of like paying that forward, and that's super dope.
Right.
Um, because you know that's kind of like how this whole thing has gotten started and why we were so successful in what we did, right? Because from the jump, you know, I was kind of like in and out of the whole Twitter thing, but I was always just trying to support like YouTube channels, right? And I was kind of like just getting my news that way. And so when I came across your stuff like way back then, I was like, yo, this dude is like really connecting like how Zach uses his movies to like have all these underlying themes and
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
um it was so different from everything else that I was looking at back then. And I really think that that's what kind of like helped you stand out and you know why you were so important to this whole kind of process.
I appreciate that,
Right.
man. And I see you on Twitter, bro. I see you making it happen. You holding it down, and so when you hit me up, bro, you know, not even paying it forward, I'm gonna just do it because I remember that same feeling you got now. I remember like fuck it, I'm gonna do that shit, you know, like whatever it need, you know, I'm gonna tag
Yeah.
everybody that needs to be tagged. I'm gonna say whatever I gotta say, and I'm gonna make something out of that. And I see you doing that, so I was like, hell yeah, I'll come on your show. No, you know, because that's what people did for me. But I saw at the time.
And you were like the first person to follow me on Twitter when I came back and made my new Twitter too. So
Oh,
shout out
word.
to you, yo.
I
Facts. The first
appreciate it.
person that followed me.
I
Facts.
appreciate it,
You know what
bro.
I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I just be trying to help out, man, just because, man, I got like I think I got some gifts. I got some talents, and if I, you know, apply them shit, I can help a lot of people. So I just think that's what I'm gonna do. And you know, I think that's what I did, man. I want to at that time, I didn't even know who was watching. I didn't even care who was watching. I just saw a lot of people. I saw a lot of people talking on Twitter, but I never saw their face. I never saw
Yeah,
who they
right.
are. I just saw a
Yeah.
lot of chat online. And so I was like, yo, let me interview you. And I think I remember my first interview was with this dude named Jacob Torres back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to talk online all day, like 1,000 tweets, a lot. But you know, he was holding it down. So I was like, "Yo, let me
Right.
interview you."
Right.
And at the time, I didn't know about like screen sharing or none of that shit, bro. I was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna fucking interview you on Skype," and I sat there and recorded him like this. So then
Yeah.
I recorded him, edited that shit up with the same phone I recorded him, because I remember Zack Snyder did a movie called oh man, I forgot what was the movie he did with his cell phone?
Snow Steam Iron.
Yeah, Snow Steam Iron, right. So I say, yo, if this man can shoot a movie with a cell phone, I'm gonna fucking shoot a podcast with a cell phone. And that's
Facts,
all
bro.
I did. That's all I did, bro. So
Right.
every person that I saw talk, I went and hit them up and I said, yo, you know, let me interview you. But at the same time, I put my shit in because I used to hear like Chris Wong and Dave the Film Junkie and all of them talk.
Yeah.
But I never agreed with none of them boys, bro. I just used to hear them, and I was like, why would you say this shit? You know, so that's how then. So Go Deep is two parts. It's my shit, and then I'm gonna interview somebody else on whatever shit they want to talk about. You know,
Absolutely.
so it turned out to be good because I started learning. You know, a lot of us we on the same mission. We doing the same shit. We went through the same life. You know, we just
Yo, it's really crazy, right?
it's
Like,
crazy, dog.
yeah,
It's
it's really
crazy.
crazy.
And it's like, yo, when
Worldwide too. Worldwide.
worldwide, I hear people
Worldwide.
talking about their stories, their life stories, and I think I can just relate. So it was we talking, you know. It wasn't I wasn't even interviewing you no more. I don't have no questions or nothing. We just talking,
Yeah,
you
right.
know.
Like,
So then, and then people start liking it, you know. But you know, after a minute, I wanted to take the podcast to levels like where Zach was talking about, like you say, where he puts this shit in his movies. He does. So talk about it. We talking about stupid shit like, oh, Zack Snyder casted this character, you know, or Zack Snyder did this, or which is still cool. I like it, but he did like 90% of so much other shit, you know, like
absolutely. Absolutely.
let's talk about this shit. And nobody wanted to, it was like it was going too deep. So I just did it myself. Fuck it.
Right.
You know? So
And
that's
that's
like
the birth of Go Deep, right?
that's
Like
90% of Zach shit and go deep. That's it. And it's just the shit that nobody wanted to talk about. And I never understood that. Like we see now America is changing and shit, and the media is lying and shit and all this. We're seeing that how all of this is playing out in American society right now. But this is the exact same shit Zack Snyder was telling us in Man of Steel, all the way up to, you know, or even in The Watchmen. The Watchmen was, you know, they were stopping riots and they were, you know, showing how America is dying and all this shit like that. But we're witnessing that now in real life, bro.
In real life, absolutely.
In real life. So why are we not talking about this? We know all the Zach shit. We know the whole blueprint, but we don't say that, yo, this going on in our real life too. We scared to say that part. And that's what I thought go deep. That's the only thing I wanted to talk about. Like, bruh, look at this shit, bro. This shit matches, you know? People, I've never been told I was reaching. I try to show it as clear as possible, you know, like, like you can't get more clearer than this, you know, like, but Zach can't say this shit because he works in corporate America, and they just
absolutely,
they don't green light, you know, they don't talk about it, you know. But I'm gonna talk about that shit. I don't work for them boys.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't got
and that's me.
Yo, I can totally agree, yo. And with me having spent time in the actual military, right? You know, like, yo, man, this stuff, yo, it's not like it's not a coincidence, right? That these things are happening, right?
He just didn't make it up. He didn't make this up, I promise.
So I've actually worked for the government, and I'm telling you, like, you know, yo, man, it'd be all kind of, you know, I got all kind of little stuff going on with my body nowadays that, you know, it's all weird, and you know, all my friends got it too. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's you know, it's definitely not a lot of reaching going on Go Deep. You know what I'm saying? So,
I appreciate it.
I will definitely say that.
I appreciate that.
All right, so with Zach, obviously, kind of like having these kind of themes in his movies, right? Where does that kind of like rank him amongst other filmmakers in your particular opinion?
Zach is number one.
Damn.
I think my favorite movie is Batman vs Superman. I think my second favorite movie is Watchmen. I think, I don't know, man. You just got to push that envelope if I'm gonna watch it. If I'm gonna pay attention to your movie, it can't be the same shit as every other movie with just different characters. You know, that's what every movie is. It's the same story with different characters. So.
Absolutely.
I need dog, we paying for this shit, especially in the movie theaters. That shit costs, bro. If you take a girl to movie theaters, that shit costs. We're paying to see this. Show us something dope. Because I don't want to pay for it if I'm not gonna see no dope shit. I think Zach is the only one that showed dope shit. I think everybody is just copying him now because
that damn fight scene with Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman against Doomsday at the that scene, it's incredible, yo.
It's incredible.
That little laser beam stare off is like, it's so stunning visually.
Right, correct. It is.
Like the entire scene and how it's just mapped out, man. Zach is the blueprint, you know.
Watch that scene again. They show like from different perspectives. They show like fighting going on in the background. Wonder Woman might be fighting Doomsday in the background. They might have Superman in the background, but the scene is on Batman's face getting up off the ground or something, you know? But in the background there's some Titan level fighting going on. You know what I mean? Who does this shit, bro? Like most people don't even focus on the background, you know? Zack Snyder has like Ben Affleck getting up, brushing himself off, and about to go run around the fucking building. But really, Wonder Woman is protecting herself with a fucking shield, and Superman is flying up. You know, like who thinks about shit like that, bro? That's to me, that's pushing the envelope. You know, or even look at Army of the Dead, bro. Like,
oh my god.
We still haven't really got into what he was talking about with Army of the Dead. You know? You know what I mean? From the virus aspect of it to the zombie aspect to Las Vegas aspect when they just went through their little shooting or whatever the fuck, you know, like we still really ain't even talk about Army of the Dead like that, you know, but Zack Snyder's on to the next shit. He's on to something else.
There was some fucking robots in there, right? You know,
Right. There were robots in you're exactly right, bro. There were androids in that bitch. You know what I mean? You know? Yo, check this out. Check this out. Let's talk about it. Let's be honest. Check this out.
Okay.
We talk about right now, Elon Musk is talking about putting the Neuralink in people's heads where they could download their soul to the internet, pretty much. Whatever. Right? Didn't Jor-El do that in 2013, Man of Steel? Didn't he? But that shit just coming out now in 2022. But Zack Snyder told us in 2013 that's exactly about what need to happen. Didn't Jor-El do that shit,
You have
bro?
his memories, don't you?
Right.
Can you feel pain? Like, oh my God, Joe.
Oh my God. So who pushing the envelope like that, bro? Like, I think Zack Snyder is by far the best. And I don't know, man. I try to watch everybody's movies. I try to watch Christopher Nolan shit. I like Christopher Nolan. His storylines be legendary, but I don't know, bro.
Nah, Zach
Nobody's
stuff
fucking with
definitely
Zack.
just hits different, yo. Zach
Right?
stuff
It
hits
hits
different. You
different.
know what I'm
It
saying?
hits different, bro. It definitely hits different, and it make you watch that shit again, and like what the hell did this dude just put in his scene? You know, it
Yeah,
make you watch
man.
it again. You know.
Yo, like even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, in that damn history lesson, yo, there's
Right.
so much going
Oh my
on in
God.
that movie,
Right.
right? And it's also interesting, right? Like what was cut from that scene as
Right.
well, right? As like,
Right.
you
Correct.
know, in the Justice League version, the human characters seemed all of a certain hue,
Right.
and and you know the Zach version, it was much more of like a worldwide, like everybody had to come
Correct.
together,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Whereas,
The legendary shit.
yeah, right.
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's just really showing like, yo, it's gonna take everybody.
Right. Correct. Hell yeah. And I look at that scene, man. You know, I love the visual effects of it also, but like look at how much like the detail in that scene. So fucking Darkseid, baby Darkseid, jumps out the fucking, you know, spaceship or whatever. This
Dolo.
motherfucker demolishes Green Lantern, bro. You know, it wasn't even close. He didn't do
Like
no
that,
moves.
right?
He just moved to the side and bam. You know, like that was Green Lantern. Who is this nigga Darkseid, bro? You know, so
Bro,
now then he matched up. Now you got Ares and Zeus, and you know, like
he
he's the
took
nigga,
two of
man.
those arrows to the chest that
Right,
one of them blew up a ship.
right, correct. You're exactly right. So it's like, man,
It took the world, by the way,
it
the
took the
entire
world.
world
It took
to
the
come
world to come together,
together.
bro, to fucking beat Darkseid. So now it's like it's just it make you just like, damn, I want to see more of that. Like, who is it? Make you want to see Darkseid? You know, it make you want to know this character. This who dog like all right, we saw, you know, Batman, I mean, Superman beat the shit out of Zod, kind of. Zod was strong, you know, his girl was strong, and blah, blah, blah. We saw the next movie, Batman beat the shit out of Superman. So then, you know, we saw now Darkseid, bro. Like, you know,
Facts.
when like, good lord, he took it to a whole nother level, bro. Bro,
Yo.
Green Lantern had like 2 seconds in that shit, bro.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Facts, right?
He just took it to a whole nother level, man. So we always get off the subject, man. I gotta stop smoking weed, bro. You
Hey,
know,
hey, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's
but
all
yeah,
good.
Zack Snyder
This
is
is
by
great.
far, in my opinion, Zack Snyder is on a whole nother level, bro.
Man, most definitely. Yo, getting into that, right? Going into BVS, right? What were you feeling, right? And like what were your thoughts? N- Not only seeing BBS, but also seeing the reaction to BBS, right? Kind of like where were you at around that time?
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna paint the greatest picture, bro. The greatest picture. I was just dating this girl, one of the prettiest girls on the face of the planet, bro.
Oh man, I
And
got you right. Yeah.
I took her to see this movie,
Oh
BVS.
my goodness.
She never watched no superhero movie, no nothing. And she was like in the fight scene, like, no, Batman, don't kill him. She was so into it. And I was like, but dog, I scored points taking her to see this shit. But I wanted to watch the movie for myself. She just,
Absolutely.
so then I was like, yo, this is like the greatest movie I ever seen, bro. So, I was in the zone. I was so like, but I already knew what Zack Snyder was capable of, But then, certain scenes like, Bruce Wayne and Wonder Woman in the museum. Look how beautiful that looked with Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot in a
Yeah.
suit.
Wonderful
Look at that scene. Certain scenes was like it just stood out. Just like this is exactly how a Superman and Batman movie is supposed to look. This is like every other movie was wrong in my opinion. Batman's supposed to be Ben Affleck. That's how I'm supposed to see him. You know what I mean?
Exactly, right.
This girl is supposed to be Wonder Woman. I'm supposed to see her like that. And like you say, when she saved her, when she saved Batman from Doomsday, right? But throughout the movie, she was just a quiet little mythical creature. She was just in and out through the whole thing. They showed her seeing the fight on the airplane. Then her next scene, I guess she jumped down and she saved him or whatever. But it was just too much, bro. It was like a from the whole ambiance was something that I'll never ever forget. But the movie that played Batman vs Superman, I'm telling you, it was like it was just too much, bro. Do you remember the feeling when how you felt when you saw the first Star Wars trailer of the latest Star Wars with
for episode 7?
Yeah, Kylo Ren and them.
Yeah.
Remember when that trailer first came out, how the wait was like, oh my God, dog, we're about to see another Star Wars. That feeling you had is the exact same feeling I had through the whole entire BBS movie. So not a trailer, 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm talking about the whole movie. I was like, oh my God, bro. So then that's what started it, man. That fucking night. That one night with watching BBS. It changed. I think it changed my life, bro. I needed that movie, bro. And that I think that charged me up to do what I did with Go Deep in this Zack Snyder shit was BVS, bro.
Oh man. Yo, one, I say that the Comic-Con trailer for BBS, that 3 minute and 40 second trailer, that's the greatest trailer that's ever been released.
Hell yeah.
In my humble opinion, right? That's the only trailer that ever made me cry. Like,
right.
And it was exactly that feeling of like when I was watching that trailer, I was like, oh my God, this is what I have been waiting for this entire time. This movie is going to be crazy epic, right? And like I said earlier, I saw it at the Chinese theater. I actually, because I was living in Vegas at that time, I drove from Las Vegas to Hollywood to go watch that movie because I literally looked it up. I was like, yo, I have to see this thing on the biggest screen possible. Right. So I drove from Las Vegas to Hollywood, about a 4-hour drive, you know what I'm saying? And watched that movie. And I was like, yeah, this is the greatest shit I've ever seen, right? And when I saw the reaction to it, it kind of bummed me out and it was really weird, right? So what were you thinking when you saw the reaction to
the
be
negative reaction? I knew it. When it's that negative, because it was coming already with Zack Snyder with Watchmen. People were kind of hating on him a little bit, and Sucker Punch, they was kind of hating a little more, and
I think Sucker Punch is really when like the hate kind of started going to that other level
Right.
right?
Right.
Because
Right.
Sucker Punch had a lot of stuff in there that I don't think people in Hollywood kind of
Correct.
appreciated. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Correct.
And
Correct.
I think that that's where a lot of that kind of like really started going to that other level. And then so it was just bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. And then
Bubbling. And then
when
with
BBS came out,
BVS, right? Because
yeah,
BVS, think about it. It's BVS is a game changer in this whole $1 trillion industry of comic book movies. BVS is it showed that Marvel it
was
it
wrong.
showed right. It
Yeah.
showed Marvel who it showed like who the fuck cares about Marvel? You know, after you see this, who's gonna watch that again? But
Yeah, facts.
so
Absolutely true.
when they shit on him, when all of the media shit on him, I knew that was a concerted effort to shit
Oh,
on him
absolutely.
from the Disney part of the media. You know what I mean? From because
Absolutely.
Disney owns everything really. If you think about it, they have stake and interest in all of this shit. So then they were doing their little wannabe crossover with they were starting this what they did with Jeff Johns and shit. It was starting right there
Yeah.
with BVS. You know what I mean? So when they were shitting on him, that was the first level of what they eventually was gonna do.
Yeah.
So now, but when they're shitting on you like that, it's because you're doing something right, bro.
Yeah, man.
When Dave Chappelle gets shit on like that, it's because he's doing something right.
Yeah.
When Joe Rogan gets shit on like that, it's because he's doing something right.
Yeah.
So everyone when they try to cancel you, you got to just go back and look at their content because something right is in that content. But I was already on the Zack Snyder shit, so I was like, oh man, I saw this coming, So that's so I was already prepared for this. Yo, a lot of people back in the day, a lot of people didn't even know about what the streaming wars was. They didn't know AT&T what they were AT&T was planning. At that time, nobody knew what Disney was putting in bids for everybody. They were trying to outbid Comcast. They were trying to outbid everybody. But only one company, AT&T, could stand up to them. So when they're talking about, all these movies that Zack Snyder is going to do, that was already, I'm telling you all my secrets, right? I'm going to tell you the secrets. That was already in the trade news of the year before. You know what I mean? So if they say something like, yo, Warner Brothers plans to sell all of their characters to or all of their streaming rights to AT&T, and they want to edge out Disney, on their bid of 1 point something billion dollars, they want to offer $4 billion on their bid. But this $4 billion will get them everything like Superman, Batman, Bugs Bunny, blah, 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 blah. They told you that in 2015. When you see it start happening in BVS 2016-17, you already know what they're planning on doing. If you read the right shit. So then you see like, oh shit, Disney was trying to buy Warner Brothers. Like, can that explain all of this shit? So can that explain Jeff Johns and all that?
Yo, I have said from the beginning, and I've said this multiple times. Warner Brothers was in a position, if you look back then, around 2016, where they had a real chance of making Marvel obsolete. Right?
Correct.
Marvel had Infinity War and Endgame coming, right? Or whatever those movies were going to be. And they knew that they were going to invest $1 billion into just those two movies, right? If you look at the star power that Warner Brothers had lined up, right? They had The Rock, Will Smith, Ben Affleck, right? Lawrence Fishburne, Henry Cavill is starting to come along, right?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Right. Yep. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Right. Then you're getting directors like James Wan. Right. David Ayer coming in. Guy from Training Day. Right. All these people are starting to come, and it's like, yo, there was a real chance that they could make Marvel obsolete right before they're about to go into these damn Avengers movies.
$1 billion investments. Right.
Right.
Correct.
Because the damn DC characters that they have are much bigger.
Right.
Marvel didn't even have access to their biggest characters at this time still.
Spider-Man, right, correct.
Right? Spider-Man and
Right.
the X-Men,
Right.
which are
Correct.
hands down their biggest characters. So if DC was able, I mean, look, you got Jared Leto.
Right, correct.
Right? People that have these are Oscar winning
Margot Robbie, you know?
Margot Robbie.
right.
Right?
Right.
People like that have won Oscars, yo.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then, wait, look at the cinematographer that Ben Affleck was going to hire. Right? The guy that shoots Quentin Tarantino movies.
Right.
You got Ben Affleck. His movie just won Best Picture. He is going to be fucking directing a Batman movie. There were all these dominoes.
Right. Correct.
That where it's like, yo, they could have really made them obsolete. Right. So I think it was just very strange how they were so strong and then crumbled so quickly.
So Disney put the PR on them, and they, infiltrated their, their acts, because Disney still.
Real quick, right? Which leads into my theory of like, yo, the time when I noticed the switch, because if you can remember in the lead up to BBS, especially after that Comic-Con trailer, a lot of these outlets were super positive.
Right.
They were all waiting for it, right? And then it was the damn Captain America Civil War set visit where everything changed. Right. Immediately after that set visit happened, everybody switched up.
Right. That's what they had to. Right.
They all switched up.
Right. Correct. And you're exactly right. That's when Disney put it down. They started offering people like trips to Disney World for the weekend, and you can stay in this suite if you just speak favorably of us. But they had to, because like you said, the board's about to be obsolete. And like you said, they already made $1 billion investment, or even more, a multi-billion-dollar investment. That comes with more than just the movie. That comes with PR. That comes with all these people on the internet.
Merchandising.
All of that shit. Advertising, all of that. That comes with it. So then you just got to watch. And that plan, you see it fold out. And if you just pay attention, and it folds out exactly like they said it was going to fold out. Because they're working with so much money, they have to tell you what they're planning. So they're, once we started seeing, Disney, intervening with Zack Snyder's, shitting on him, saying he's too dark, he can't sell toys, and he can't sell merch, he's only got a grown-up level. They wanted to stop Zack Snyder from killing them. Because he would have. It wouldn't have been no Infinity War shit, because nobody would care to see that.
Totally different. Because like one, they stole his damn idea, right? So they wouldn't have been able to get that off. And so I think that those movies would have been completely different had Zach actually been able to stay on.
Right, correct. They would have definitely been different, because like you say, Disney started stealing this shit, but even they're not as good as him still. They still don't look as good. It still looks corny, but
there is a scene in WandaVision, a fight scene that is ripped straight out of Man of Steel. Straight out. And it's funny how people usually don't comment on that one, because that was one of the most egregious ones, right? I mean, it's an entire section of the fight scene that they could just completely copy.
Completely copy, right? Completely copy. So they had to, bro. This man was about to destroy them. Don't listen to all the A-list celebrities you just named. Listen to, bro. Ben Affleck is about to direct a fucking Batman movie. Are you crazy?
Right after his movie just won Best Picture.
Right, and he looks like the quintessential Batman. Nobody would care to see no fucking Thanos, bro.
Jesse Eisenberg from the damn Social Network. Another movie. That one won Best Picture, right?
Right. Or look at the actor the guy who wrote BVS, and he won
Chris Terrio.
Right. Correct.
From Argo.
Right.
right?
They're on total different levels, bro. In Marvel and DC plus, bro, the characters alone, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are the top three superhero draws in the whole universe of Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, whoever.
Yeah,
They got the top three characters, you know. So now,
yeah. Superman, his logo, I think they said is like one of the most recognizable symbols on the entire planet, like
it
right under
definitely is
Jesus.
Jesus, bro, like right under Jesus. And
You
then
know,
look at Zack Snyder doing his little Jesus references with Superman carrying the cross and saving people's lives and shit like that. But bruh, it's just on a whole new level. Uh, Warner Brothers had better than a dream team, dog. They had, from that whole universe that they could have spawned with Suicide Squad, David Ayer, Will Smith, first Ben Affleck. You know what I mean? Ben Affleck first Jared Leto. You know what I mean? With the mix of Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke,
right?
with the mix of, Jesse Eisenberg is now a real Lex, but that's just like worldly level problems. But now there's a dark side that could show up for, you know what I mean? A brainiac, maybe if you
Right.
want to get, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just, the levels is just too crazy. Plus, with the Batman shit, now we can start talking about, you know, maybe Damien or maybe Red Hood or maybe, you know what I mean? It could be on whole different levels. They could
That's in the
branch it out.
family, right? You
Right,
already
right.
got the dead Robin, right? Like you
Mm-hmm.
already got that.
You
Yo, there
already got
was
it.
so much, man. We didn't even see Batman punch Joker's teeth out,
Right,
right?
correct.
Which
You just saw
which
the
we were
grill.
supposed to get that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
There were so many seeds that were already like, planted that,
Right.
it was supposed to be fantastic. And I think that what we're gonna get will be fantastic.
I
I'm
agree.
actually kind of glad that it took this long because now I think that we're about to get more than we ever thought that we were gonna get in
Right.
the first
Correct.
place.
Correct. I think I'm glad that it took this long too because we had to learn. We had to catch up to that type of shit. We you know, we still don't get it. We still, as a world, we still haven't got it. We still don't understand what they be trying to tell us. We still don't understand like how it overlaps today's society. We still when Zack Snyder was doing his I think he was doing a commentary to something, and I remember him saying something about BVS is kind of like post 9/11 America and shit like that. And I was like, yo, bro, I've been said this shit on Go Deep. But who else? Nobody has said it. Nobody has caught up and said this shit. But they hear Zack Snyder say it and they still haven't. I
Accepted
haven't
it,
seen
right?
any
It's
video.
like,
Right.
right,
It
right.
hasn't even been accepted. Like, come
It's
on,
like
dog.
wake up,
Wake
we
up,
live in
bro.
a fucking
How
dream
many
world.
years are we gonna live in a dream world? Wake up, bro. He didn't say that for no reason. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, like even just on like an almost surface level, BVS was actually like a response to how the world was about Man of Steel.
right,
Literally, like the people that were fighting in real life about, hey, there was all this destruction and Superman didn't do this, and why wasn't
right,
he trying to say, like, yo, that was literally in BVS,
correct.
right? Where like it just mirrored what happened in real life. And that
Right,
was even kind of like surface level to me,
right,
right?
right. But
Where like
look at it like Joe, what you just said, surface level, but look at it like in all of these scenes, he showed like the news. He showed CNN in the background giving their commentary, or he showed like Anderson Cooper or somebody giving their commentary, but their commentary is actually completely wrong of what's actually going on. It's the complete opposite. And he showed people around watching the TV, people might be in the bar watching the TV, or people at work supposed to be serving drinks, they're back watching TV and shit like that. But he's showing how the world gets so much false information at every level of our world from the bullshit ass TV, right? But in the background, we might have a fucking alien invasion, and the top corporation in our country might be trying to fight that shit, or some shit like that. Bruce Wayne Corp is trying to stop the world from dying from an alien invasion. While we got some BVS looking 9/11 shit of buildings falling, you know what I mean? What we gotta look at as people, he's showing us this whole world of what's going on behind us while we're at the too busy watching fake news on TV. You know, that's what's really at the core of Zack Snyder's shit. Because if we go back to, like you say, the androids and the Vegas movie, or if we talk about the cigar smoke and the JFK assassination, all of this shit is huge conversations that needs to be going on the planet.
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder might put a second of it in his movie and just go to it and not even talk about it. He won't even mention it again. You know, like be like, yo, bro, this is. Do you know what you just said? Or can we compound on this subject? You know, it will help the world tremendously. But the world, we just like, oh my God, did you see that slow motion? Did you see those colors? Or we didn't. We miss a huge point of I think what Zack Snyder is, and I think the world. I think it was good that we took a long time, because I think we're catching up to it, and I think that's what I was trying to do with Go Deep. I would think I was trying to show that catch up. Like, yo, we probably need to be talking about this type of shit, other than Chris Wong talking about this type of shit. You know what I mean? No disrespect to them boys, but I can't spend 24 hours a day, 365 for fucking 9-10 years talking about, you know what I mean? Like some dope shit.
I feel it. And I think that, the people that kind of relied on that kind of stuff, I think that that's why a lot of them seem to kind of have like switched up later, because, they were in it for content purposes and not really, in it for
the message,
Zach, or to try to help whatever we were doing.
That's exactly what was going on, bro. And I started to see that late. I started to see that because I used to get in this shit, and I would put everybody together. Everybody I met, I would put them together in these little chat rooms behind the scenes. I'm gonna bring you in this chat room that I got, but I had to watch you a little while first, but I'm gonna bring you in eventually. No, I just had to check you out on Twitter. You know how it is, homework or whatever. But I bring you in. But we were fucking. I would put everybody together and just, I don't know, brainstorm or whatever we was doing, shoot the shit or whatever. But then I started to see a lot of people's agendas is not the same as what I thought. It's not
absolutely.
Like, bro, we got the movie out. We got on once that shit was like, once they announced it, I was kind of cool. I was like, all right, we won, you know what I mean? But then
Yo, I was May 20th, 2020 will go down as like one of my favorite days ever.
Right.
I was so like, I had just gotten called back into work. And I was sitting there, and I had the damn thing on playing in the background, right? And I had actually forgot to turn it on, and I turned it on like literally like 3 minutes before he dropped it, and like literally as soon as he said it, everybody just started hearing me screaming, because I was just look, I was like, yes, right, and so. Absolutely, you are absolutely right. There was an overwhelming sense of joy, and you're just absolutely right. So
it was, and then that showed everybody's agenda. Because instead of just being happy, it went back to bullshit. People still fighting on Twitter, or people like, yo, what's going on around this bitch, bro? So then, that just changed me a lot, because Nobody
Right.
wanted to sit back and be happy. Nobody wanted
Right.
to just marvel in what we did. People just wanted to keep going and keep fighting and keep arguing. And I'm like, bro, like, you just doing this for a channel, or you just doing this for a Twitter page or something. You care
Facts,
about
man.
you care
Facts.
about your Twitter page like it's a crown on your life, instead
Yeah,
of using it as social media just to talk shit at a
absolutely.
certain level. But you know what I mean? I don't know, people were kind of trying to, hog up all the glory or hog up everything they can and run across the
Yeah.
finish line like they did it. And I'm like, what the
Hey,
hell? None of y'all wasn't around, bro.
I got to interview Zach. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yo, look at Zach, man. Come
No,
on, man.
and you had to be in a certain inner circle to interview Zach. You couldn't say this shit and blah blah blah. Like, bro, you just say you're gonna be a girl to interview. I mean, not to say nothing about a girl, but you're gonna lose your nuts to interview Zach. And okay,
Yeah,
do it,
but
but nah, it's not worth it, bro. I'm gonna keep talking my shit exactly like I started,
facts,
and
facts.
that's just gonna lead me where it got us. And I think, man, I think people just had their own agendas. I think I just didn't know that until late. And I think I found that out. And I think once I found it out,
Yep,
it turned me off, bro. You know?
man. You know what? That's actually so kind of like prophetic to hear what you just said, right? Because in my opinion, I've kind of always said this too, that I felt like as a fandom, one of the worst days that we ever had was when the Snyder Cut got
I know. Right.
announced, right? It's
Right.
like it's so weird,
Right.
but like that is where the shift really started at. And you're absolutely right. You did see certain people that were not happy, and they
Right.
were just trying to still
Right. Steal
argue and
everything.
fight.
Right.
And it's like I didn't understand, kind of like where that came from.
No, I saw it, like I was telling you about these back rooms. I saw that shit. It was, when we got 1 million tweets in November, I knew the movie was coming, because
Yeah.
who else got 1 million tweets? You know what I mean? Like that, we were on local news, bro. There was local news talking about what we just did on Twitter
Yo,
the night before. You know?
you want to know when I knew that we had won? I don't know if you can recall this. Do you remember when that like official poll came out where they were asking us like what were we willing to kind of like pay if we were going to go
Right,
see
right,
the
right,
Snyder
right,
Cut? That's when I knew. I was like, wait a minute,
right,
this is too official. This is
right.
like,
It's too official. Right,
you know
right.
what
It
I'm
was.
saying? Like they're actually asking us what are we willing to pay, and I'm like, yo,
Right,
I'm willing to pay whatever to go see that shit on the
right,
big screen.
right.
You know what I'm
Correct,
saying?
correct. I remember that.
200. You know what I'm saying? But but Um, absolutely though. Yeah, that day did kind of end up being the genesis of like this big shift of what
Right,
I call release the Snyder Cut versus restore the Snyderverse.
right. Yeah, no, it was bigger. It was a lot of shifts, bro. It was, let me fight over hashtag names. Let me,
The Us United thing,
yeah,
like
all
oh
kind of shit, bro. It was all kind of shit. They were making different, whether we should call Zach shit this movie name, or we should call it this movie name, or but what it do is every day you're fighting over something, bro. Every
yeah,
day you're online arguing about something, instead of, bro, we got the movie, bro. Like, goddamn, dog. Let's stop fighting. But then when you saw it, I looked at it, and it was, people was fighting for reasons, because they wanted their Twitter name to be AMP, and they wanted their little YouTube names to be AMP and shit like that. They had their own agendas. It wasn't about getting Zack Snyder's movie out. It was about Twitter and YouTube. It was about Zach crap. If I could stand next to Zach and get on a Zach interview, and and bro, I was around these people when they didn't even know what the movie 300 was, bro. And I'm telling you, all of the big movers and shakers in this end, or whatever we're in, this little atmosphere of the
yeah,
release of Snyder Cut fandom, all of the big movers and shakers I put together. They were out not
Look,
talking to each other, not
facts.
they didn't know each other. They were just like, oh, we're gonna fight, we're gonna be TPZ, we're gonna be exiles, we're gonna be blah 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 blah, all this shit, bro. I said, no, bro. We all in one chat room. We can all plan the same shit. We can all see what we're saying. We can all just produce shit together. But they never meshed, really. We might have sat in the same chat room, but they were always at odds. But then I started to see like a lot of people didn't really know Zach shit like that. They were just liking because Zach was popular. But
Yeah.
if you be like, yo, you remember Baphomet was in 300, they'd be like, oh no, I've never seen that or something. Or if you just name, they didn't even see the movie 300. Yo, I
Yeah.
had a joke. I got an ongoing joke one time. There was
In the scene with I never even realized that was Baphomet in the scene in 300. That's when the Quasimodo looking guy, right? He goes to
yeah,
see
he
um
goes in the
yeah,
little pyramid or whatever. Yeah, he goes
yeah,
to see Xerxes. Yeah, and they
yeah.
show they show the goat, right? But
Facts, facts.
it's like, all right, but so look how deep that situation is. It shows the pyramid, bro. It shows the world conquering force, right? In
Yeah,
that pyramid, right? Coming from like, the Middle East or whatever. So then he goes in there. There's some beautiful girls, but their soul is fucked up. Their face
yeah,
kind of look messed up
yeah,
or some shit. It looked good on the outside, but it's hell on the inside.
yeah.
But that's the soul. I mean, that's the world conquering force at the time. And it shows a country of free men who didn't bow to the world conquering force, bro. So now we just thought of it was a good slow motion fighting scene. So now America is up against the world conquering force of the feel like the devil with no soul, and we can't bow to that shit. But then you see Zack Snyder say never surrender or shit like that.
Yeah.
All these little gems of what he was giving us, right? So then you go to his fans and you'd be like, hey guys, did you see this gem that Zack Snyder gave us? Or did you see this news? And they're like, oh no, I didn't even, oh my God, I didn't even know Zack Snyder put 9/11 in them fucking movie or something. That
Yeah,
shit
right.
was in Watchmen also. It was in Watchmen also. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I got
Absolutely.
people on my podcast, the scene where Ozymandias standing there with his hands crossed. He's looking at the Twin Towers. But if you look in the background, every time he changes, the blimp gets closer and it looks like it's about to hit the Twin Towers.
Mm-hmm.
So then when it gets close enough, it was a flash of lightning, like it hit the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
But I knew this from watching The Watchmen from day one. So then I'm talking to like Zack Snyder fans, and they're like, "No, I didn't even see that part in the movie." Like, bro, what are you here for? You know what I'm saying? So I started seeing people were just here for clout, dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't the same, bro, and it was a letdown because the people that was there for clout were the people that's getting like Justice Cons and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like Zach interviews and all this other shit. But the people that's standing close to the most legendary parts of Zack Snyder was looked over. You know what I mean? So that movement, it just was like, it just seemed fake to me, because I know all the fake ass people that's getting all these cons. I have had conversations with you and you didn't know shit in 2017, 18, but now all of a sudden you interviewing Zach,
Yo, like, and it's really crazy, right? Because I kind of put you in this group, right? I call you guys like the scribes of like this whole thing, right?
Right.
Because you've really been here, and from everybody that I've ever like talked to or even just like watched, right? They've always brought your name up in such like a respectful way for doing what you just said, bringing people together, right? So when you speak on certain things, I feel like it almost has to be taken with the utmost amount of respect, right? Because
Appreciate it.
you have been here for this entire time. And so when you started to see the shift, right? Like what did you kind of do after seeing that, and where did that kind of have you mentally?
Mm, bruh, good question, bruh.
Yeah.
Because, all right, so the common theme, even for 300, like I said, the world conquering force, and men don't bow to that, no matter what. I saw America going through that
Mm,
at the same time. So then around the same time we doing the movement shit, I saw America going through its shit with Donald Trump and Joe Biden and shit like that, right? But so then you have the election. We're alive and well in the election. The Snyder Cut movement is still rolling, right?
yeah,
So
right.
now, so now I'm like, all right, we got this huge force of people online who, if we only knew what Zack Snyder is trying to tell us, we could be the men that don't bow. We could stand up like that. So I went and grabbed everybody who I thought could be that person.
Mm.
And um, I think I saw, not like so let's be real, bro. In our movement, there's a big like anti-America like theme because a lot of people is from other countries. So they think America is like shitheads who worship guns and you know, Donald Trump KKK type people or so. But no, I'm not even saying I don't like Donald Trump. I'm just saying what the thought of what we
Yeah,
are as Americans.
absolutely.
Right, right. So they try to so we got all these different crews. We got some from England in the Snyder Cut movement. We got some from like Thailand and all this other shit over there. But we got the overall arching crew of like Hollywood. It was more of like a Hollywood type movement. So Hollywood tries to produce all these political messages every year and get all their celebrities to follow them and shit like that. But at the time, we were going through like COVID and, you know, it was all these draconian laws like you mandatory vaccinations, lockdown, all this shit going on in America at the time. So I equated that to the big world conquering force. And so I thought we could use our power that we just showed with getting a corporation to stop fucking with us. We could use that to also show all the rest of these corporations to stop fucking with us if we just use our power. But
It's literally like the same blueprint. It's
it's
literally
the
like the
same
same. Yeah,
blueprint
it's
because they're
literally the
doing
same
the
blueprint.
same shit. It's all the same companies if we really look at it. So all
Yeah,
we had to do is be like, yo, like look at Florida. Or right now, Florida is like, yo, Governor DeSantis is like leading presidency getter right now. Everyone wants to vote for him, but why they want to vote for him? Because he never locked down and he was against mandatory vaccination. So now the whole country thinks, damn, we should have been like Florida, right? We should have listened to what Florida. If the whole country is thinking this man is the top, whatever. So all of this shit that was going on when we were in the movement, like, you can't go to the movie theater, you can't do this, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. All this, it was harming America, bro. Like, we didn't get the Snyder Cut so long because they wasn't gonna let us in the movie theater to watch that shit, bro. So why put it
yeah,
out? And it was gonna be a dud anyway.
right.
So they had to find a HBO Max to show that shit to us. You know what I'm saying? But at our human level, if we would have fought some of these laws and draconian tactics and boom, boom, boom on you, we would have had an easier time to see the Snyder Cut, bro. But people don't know that. People don't know, like, in Florida, they could have watched their movies that New York couldn't have watched, you know. But those, we're both Americans. We're just two different ideologies of states, two different thinkings, you know. But the New York level of thinking won, you know, won out.
Yeah.
So then the whole country went on lockdown. So now, me as a person, I think people now, they see, bro, gas prices is over $5. You know, the world didn't get better, like everybody was talking. You know, all of this technological shit is coming out where now fucking Elon Musk can tell the country of Russia what to do in the Ukraine shit. Bruh, it's not a country. You're not a president. You're Elon fucking Musk. You're Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? So we gotta level this shit. These are when a country now, we thought a country was pretty damn powerful. We have a corporation telling a country what to do right now in the world, in real life. We saw this with Lex Luthor and BVS, bro.
Facts.
We saw this, and we saw how it ended. It didn't end well.
Literally, General Swanwick was a senator at that time, and he knew that Lex was over there doing that stuff in Africa, and yet said, "Hey, we can't even say anything."
We can't.
He said, "I will not go on record." Facts.
Exactly. He's bigger. So now we got to equate this so now we have to not vote for these type of laws. So me at that time, I was thinking, yo, we got to use our power to kind of help America at this certain moment, because something is going on in America and we're switching to an area that we ain't going to want to be with 2 years later, you know? So now people are seeing this, and because they don't want to pay these gas prices. They don't, you know, people take off the mask now. People don't give a fuck, you know? But at that time, it was so many rules and laws. So I was just trying to make us see that it's not going to end well if we vote in these particular ways, or, you know, or support these particular. But at the time, man, I noticed that people didn't give a fuck about that, or people was like, they wanted, you know, man, I don't know, man. Hollywood is so weird, bro. I think Hollywood is like actually against the people of America, you know, like the propaganda. Think about it. The propaganda that comes out of Hollywood actually hurts us more than it helps us. You know, when we talk about like the mental programming of these girls that want to grow up to be Barbie and they could never hold down a real relationship because they're so shallow, and these men that want to grow up to be Ken and they can't do the same thing, and you know, or a lot of the shit we learned through Hollywood, bro. You know,
absolutely.
So now think about this, bro. Think about this. We got the biggest force in Hollywood right now. As at the time, we could have changed this shit, bro. People wasn't thinking on my level of, bro, we just took this propaganda shit the fuck over, and we got a chance to now make sure this propaganda shit don't come back, you know. But then you now get the celebrities like, oh, we're just gonna sit for 15 days to calm the curve or some shit like that. But no, they were completely changing our country for the worse, bro. So I knew that shit was coming. So as in a Hollywood movement, as propaganda, as they use propaganda is just pretty much magic. They're talking to you, they're speaking to you and making you feel a certain way, which is probably detrimental to you. So I was like, yo, we got that force right now, bro. We have that power right now. We just told Warner Brothers and Disney and whoever else, Lionsgate or Legendary Films or all of these people, we just told y'all to shut the fuck up, sit down. This is what we're gonna do, no matter what. So we got that power on every situation, bro.
Absolutely.
If they ever come and say, yo, there's mandatory vaccination for every country in the state. No, bro. I know the blueprint. We can go on Twitter and say, yo, this is what we're gonna do, and we're not gonna do nothing else. Or we could, you know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So
you are absolutely right. Cause like
right,
it's that same thing that I said earlier. Like when we did it, I literally knew it was like, yo, we just did something that's never been done and we
right,
changed the world, yo. And it's like now is the time. And I really did have that same feeling of like we can do anything right now.
right. We could. And so I think what I saw around that time is people didn't. I think people wanted to make. There were more people in our movement that's like the Hunchback on 300 than there is
Mm,
300. There's more
mm,
Hunchbacks than there are Leonidases in our
facts.
movement,
That,
and
that's an
there
absolute fact, yo.
it's 5 to 1. It's 5 to 1. It's 5 to 1 Hunchbacks for every one Leonidas. So I started to see that because everyone the first level of selling out was to get a Zach interview. So then that was I'm gonna be I'm gonna be kissing these certain crews ass as long as I can get Zach on my channel.
Mm.
And then I was like, damn, bro, that's a hunchback type of move. And then the next level of selling out was people used to come in our chat rooms all the time and try to, they would create political arguments and shit like that. But the political arguments was the same shit that they heard on the news, or some bullshit on
Yeah.
CNN or some bullshit on Fox or whatever. So then they would come in our chat rooms. Mind you, we're the people that's generating the force behind this movement. So
Yes.
people were trying to come in our chat rooms and make us politicize us, make us
Mm.
hey, let's type in US United.
Yeah,
But
like on some but COINTELPRO, Pro, you know what I'm
right,
saying?
it was some COINTELPRO. Looking at this man, bro. Yes, it was, and I was like, bro, listen, bro.
He
Joe
like,
Biden, right?
hold
Joe
up.
Biden just said the same hashtag. Why the fuck am I gonna post this shit? Hell no, bro. And it was like, yo, but Zach wants us to do this, bro. I don't give a shit, bro. Like, Zach's not my daddy, bro. Like, no. America is worth more than a Zach interview to me, So I was like, no, bro. Like, so it took me to a point where I was
Joe
like,
Biden
yo,
just used that
right,
hashtag.
like, dog, didn't Joe Biden just use US United? Are you trying to pull? Did you
Oh,
not think I'm gonna know that shit? Like, so I was on some shit. Like, I just rebelled, and I was
hey,
even
hold on. Hey, for anybody questioning what we talking about, go and look at that movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And you'll know exactly what we talking about.
Dog,
Coercion. You know what I'm
so that's exactly what it is. Coercion, bro.
saying?
Bro, if you was in these chat rooms, now mind you, we had these chat rooms for years. We had these chat rooms since this shit started. I made chat rooms. And
Mm-hmm.
and when we playing along, everything is all good. Everything is, peachy when we're playing along. We're playing the
Right.
game. But as soon as we disagree with some bullshit, it's like 4 weeks in a row of coercion, just massive coercion. So then that make me look at these niggas like, dog, why are you gonna wake up every day to try to fucking coerce somebody? Like, who are you, dog? What is your real job? What are you really doing in this chat room? So I
Why
gotta.
are you here?
Why
Why
are
are
you
you
here,
here
bro?
for real?
We already told you we're not gonna say this hashtag. We're not gonna make this shit trending. I don't give a fuck. This is my chat room. You can leave. But they were like, oh no, Pele. And they would come back and do the same shit again. Bro, I wish you was there because when you said COINTELPRO, I've shown these niggas COINTELPRO videos. I was like, yo, bro, this is going on with us right now, bro.
This is you. This is you.
Right. This is you. And they were like, oh, you can't believe everything on the internet. Boy, shut the fuck up. Let's talk about all the other shit that match with what's going on with you. Bro, they were trying to politicize us, bro. And that shit forced me
Oh my god.
because I'm exact opposite of that. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican, but I was raised in the South. I'm a
Yeah.
fucking I I like America. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So all this shit that we're living right now, we're mad is because we made the wrong choice in 2016 and 17 and 18 and 19 or whatever. And
Facts.
then we made the wrong choices. So now we're living through this shit, bro. We're like, oh my God, gas and all this shit, blah blah blah. Yeah, but if we wasn't supporting all this bullshit for the past few years,
Facts.
we wouldn't be in this situation. So
Facts.
now we have the strongest crew on the internet, the biggest propaganda source. We run that shit, bro.
Yeah, facts.
We
Facts.
run that shit. Let's
Facts.
use this shit to help stop making these mistakes. Yeah, let's use this shit to learn and stop making these mistakes. So that's what I made Go Deep. I stopped interviewing people because I was like, yo, we don't got no time. I only got to talk to you right now. I don't want to know about what you want to do no more. I don't want to care about none of your shit. I just got to tell you this shit, bro, because we're running out of time. And that's what I did. And maybe I ostracized my own self from that movement, but I wanted to because, I look at it like this. Remember there's this scene on this animation. I can't remember what it was, but it was like 100 Doomsdays fighting Wonder Woman and Superman and the Amazons.
Yeah, that's from from the animated movie. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They was all fighting them, but they were nonstop fighting because more was coming. More was coming. Yeah. Batman left and ran around the corner. Batman said something else going on, bro.
And then they were mad, like, "Yo, where's he going?" Right? But in reality, he was going to where the real attack was.
Exactly. So that's how I visioned myself in this movement, because I saw more than what was actually being shown on Twitter. It was more going on. So if I had to be Batman and run around the corner by myself, that's what I was gonna do. And I did that shit. But I think at the time, like people didn't understand what I was talking about. People didn't understand where I was going with what I was saying and the levels of what Zack Snyder is trying to teach us. I don't think people understood that shit. And I think me trying to beat that in people's heads, I think I was trying to do it because I think America needed that shit. And I think I was trying to do it because I think the world needed that shit. Because if we fucked up, the whole world is fucked up. You know what I mean? So, and that's what Zack was doing. Even like you mentioned that scene where the whole world came together to fight Darkseid. That was our chat rooms, bro. It was all of us from every country involved. It was in one chat room that I made. So that's another Batman role. He brought the Justice League together. I made these chat rooms that empowered our because nobody wanted to talk to nobody, bro. Like, one of my homeboys now, 44, he had a big crew called the Parademons back in the day. Huge crew online. So I was like, yo, we're doing this thing, and you might have seen it and blah, blah, blah. Yo, bring your crew. Now 44 is like one of my best friends, he's one of my closest dudes, because I brought a lot of people together, but I think I was trying to do it for something bigger than what our movement turned out to be. I think our movement kind of fizzling because we're not focused. And look at it. Look at Joe Rogan, bro. He blowing the fuck up talking about the same shit Zack Snyder been telling us forever. How did we let that happen, bro? How we let another dude, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true. Yeah.
We were the nigga. We were, bruh. Come on, bro. Like we let a big thing squander because everybody wanted a Zack interview, bro. And that fucked us up.
I think that anybody that is gonna go to your channel for the first time and start checking your content out, they're gonna hear a lot of terms about certain sects within the fandom, right? Where you got the Parademons, TPZ, 40 Club, Watchmen, right? You want to give like a quick kind of rundown of like some of these crews, right? And like just kind of like what happened.
Yeah. Word. So then now you into the shit now, bro. Now we in the real story. This the real story of the movement, bro. This is it. And it's like
Hey,
all these crews.
at the 1 hour 54 mark, here we
Yeah,
go.
here
This
we go.
is
2 hours
this
in this bitch,
is
we really talking. So the story is we had TPZ. TPZ had a chat room on Vero with Zack Snyder, Fiona, you know, and their people. Zach wasn't in there, but they were always talking to Zach and coming to show us what they were saying. This was
yeah.
like 2016 or something. So they would go on Twitter and get destroyed by people. But
Mm-hmm.
they would always come back to Vero and talk about what was going on. Like, oh my God, this guy's an asshole and blah, blah, blah. It was Nerd Queens was in there. TPZ was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Fiona was. That's what I say when Fiona brought me into Vero. She brought me into this chat room with TPZ. So I'm like, damn, these guys got the most potent source. They're talking to Zack Snyder. They have the most potent source, but they don't know what Zack Snyder's talking about. So this must be your job, bro. You're not in it for the love. This might be your job, So now I started seeing like, all right, I started trying to help them boys. I was like, well, I got a Twitter page. Let me go see what they talk about. I helped them out in a Twitter fight. I could talk shit. I didn't know what to expect.
Facts, right?
So I was like, all right, word. But at the time, I'm teaching. Like I said, I was showing them boys about the COINTELPRO shit. I'm teaching TPZ what the corporate takeovers that Disney is doing and blah, 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 blah. And, they probably knew this shit. They did know this shit, but they were playing dumb. They were probably like, yo, how did this black dude know this shit? Like what the fuck? So I started seeing, so I went on Twitter, started seeing how they operate, and they was getting fucked up on Twitter all the time. They would say stupid shit, and people would be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up, yo." Like, who are you? So I was like, "Yo, because y'all brought me in this, so I'm a back y'all pretty much." I made TPZ hot, and I'm not lying. Nobody knew who TPZ was. I interviewed them because
TPZ means the Prozac people. For
right.
y'all that don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Team Prozac, right. So I started interviewing them boys. People, think about this. When I was doing my shit, there was Chris Wong, Dave the Film Junkie, Totally Random, and me. None of them was interviewing nobody, So TPZ was just some random dudes online, some random dudes on Vero. They wasn't on no podcast until I showed up. So now I show up and I say, yo, y'all got Zach, bro. Like, y'all already won, like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I introduced them with other people I met in the movement, and we all create this big room, this big chat room, and we just sit around. Nerd Queens was in there. Exiles, Vinaldo, The Watchman was in there. Parademon 44 was in there. Everybody was in there. It was the whole crew in there. So now they're in the chat that I made. So now we start delivering. We start going on Twitter and fucking people up. The 1 million that day we tweeted 1 million, we did that. That comes from my chat room, bro. Like, people be like, oh, Zack Snyder's movie just tweeted and trending, blah, blah, blah. Zack Snyder told TPZ to charge us up. TPZ came and told me. They didn't tell nobody else. They didn't tell Vinaldo or Chris Wong or Dave the Film Junkie or nobody. They told me. They was like, yo, get the boys together. We gonna need to do X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, all right, boom. We blew the fuck up. Blew up. We had a hell of a crew. We had a hell of a ride. So then we got the movie. After that shit, we was out. We got the movie. people like Sean O'Connell started coming around and talking to us.
God. Oh,
Yeah, so now Sean O'Connell is on Go Deep because now we done made some noise, you know? So now they announced the movie. And I just like, all right, guys, we won, so let's retire. But I'm not saying let's retire. I'm just saying I'm gonna retire because this shit's stressful. People come at you every day because you can just be doing shit like making a fucking hoodie, you know, or you can make merchandise and they coming at you because what you're doing, you know. So I said, dog, I quit, you know, I'm gonna retire. Everybody was like, they try to fake like they're retiring with me, but they wasn't. They were just bullshit. And they were in my chat room to try to fucking coerce me into continuing, you know, but we got the movie. We kicked
and to use Joe Biden hashtags too.
Right, and to use Joe Biden hashtags. Bro, and if you don't, you're retarded. Like, what? Dog, you got to use Joe Biden hashtag. You got to wear triple mask. You got to go get mandatory vaccination. You got to do all this shit. So I'm like, yo, so, but it started breaking up before that because people were like, TPZ started putting out pictures of them on Zoom shots with Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah.
But TPZ didn't make Zack Snyder popular. You know, like you're taking the credit of what somebody else did. You know what I'm saying? All right, you might got a Zack Snyder signed jersey, but 2 years ago that shit was worth $0. You know what I mean? That shit is only worth $100 because of us. You know, because of. So now you're trying to shit on us with your pictures, but you didn't do shit. You was losing back in the day. You wasn't creating no Zack Snyder clout. You wasn't doing nothing. You just flexing your muscles. So we were like, all right. But at the same time, they was doing some other crazy shit with Ronaldo. Like, I can only say like gang stalking type shit. Like, just some crazy shit because now we're in the news, bro. Now we're in local news. Now Subway is picking us up.
Right.
Now the FA Cup has got them boys. Ronaldo's doing it.
I remember all that. Yeah, I remember all that.
Right. So now everybody was trying to, you know, instead of being happy we got Subway and we got the FA Cup and we doing this, we in Times Square. Instead of just being happy, they were trying to make up their own shit. You know, like, no, you shouldn't do that. You should do it like this. You should do it like this. But really, what they was really doing is trying to get clout because now we're in a huge atmosphere. So now if anybody talk about, hey, they you know, label their YouTube what the Zack Snyder movement should do, they're gonna get clout. You know, they're just gonna get clout. So now all the people who did the real work was getting out clouded because shit on, you know, because we was too legendary. 2, we wasn't bowing down to nobody. 3, we was black. I'm black. I'm gonna have to say it like this. I don't fit the mold of being the nerd queens on camera or something. So whatever. So I was on some shit like, bro, all of these people that's getting the credit for all of this shit that we did are not the people that was doing shit. They're the people that was in our chat room sitting there getting bitched out every day because they're dumb or having dumb ideas or, you know, trying to create us on some COINTELPRO shit to dumb shit, you know? So now they on Justice Con like, oh, Zach, we love you, and oh, we've been behind you forever. Like, boy, I got sick of this movement, dog. I got this shit. This shit was the biggest disappointment. Like, I felt like I at the time wasted time. At the time I felt like that, but right now I appreciate the friends I made more. You know, I appreciate that time, whatever. But it felt like, bro, it felt like we was getting whitewashed because we wasn't politically correct, and that's exactly what happened. The Watchmen wasn't politically correct, so no matter what we did on our resume of bringing everybody together, creating a buzz, getting these million tweets, making sure we win every fucking poll online.
Yep.
No, we did everything. We did everything. Let's go buy some merch, wear this merch, show it in front of everybody. All the shit that we're talking about, we came and planned this shit. Hamad, we planned this shit in one chat room, you know?
Right.
So now,
see, look, and that's why I had to get you on here, man. Especially after Hamad and talking to him, and I was like, "Yo, man, Mr.
Hamad,
West has got to be the next one." Like, yo, it got to be the
no,
next one.
I love Hamad. You know, it's still, even me and Hamad don't see eye to eye all the time, but still, Hamad was always respectful. But
yeah,
I think it was just people wanted to take that clout and just do all this shit to make themselves clout up instead of taking this platform and maybe helping America, bro. Like, think about this. Remember, Subway said they're gonna donate all these free sandwiches for us, right?
That
Imagine,
could have been for any. Yep,
right? We could have did that all the time, every day.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Go, we
Fact.
could have put on a suit and go take pictures with that shit. You know what I mean?
Fact.
All the time. So instead of doing that, they went at Ronaldo to try to get his control of his account on Twitter. Instead of feeding the homeless and shit, you want the clout of his account. So now the Exiles is at war with TPZ. Now the Watchmen is like, what the fuck, bro? Let's just get back to work, bro. Let's just get back to work. And they're now then TPZ on some shit like, nope, well, we're gonna take our Zach and go home. And we're gonna build up a whole new Zach people. But all the people they built up, Chris Wong and Dave the Film Junkie and all these people, they didn't do shit. They were telling us dumb shit. If it was for them, we would have had a 156-minute movie. You know, they were settling for all the dumb shit that Disney was putting out, bro. So then they were trying to get us to settle for it. The only people stood up against that is us. Out of the whole movement. So they were like, maybe we can see the movie in a black and white. Maybe we can see the movie in like a little comic strip, you know?
Yeah, yo,
like, bro, like,
hold on. There were so many ideas floated out there about ways that we could see this movie instead of them just completing it and putting it out on HBO Max or in theaters or whatever. Like, it was really ridiculous, the lengths that people were going through to try to say that we could just get this movie in whatever kind of shape.
Correct. It's just leading us astray. So now all the people that's leading us astray, now y'all got the Zach interviews and shit when now we're popular. So now it looks like your channel just did a shit ton of work and got 1 million tweets and all these people together and all this buzz going for these big movies when you didn't. You didn't do none of that shit. You said in my chat room, and I have to take ownership like that because if not, somebody else gonna take ownership for that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Them boys gonna act like they did it.
Yo, look, and that is like one of the big things that I want to do with my platform. Just because honestly, like, you know, I was always going to start a YouTube channel, but I didn't know what I was going to talk about, right? And like, it just got to the point where I was like, yo, what am I the most passionate on? And it is the Sam Snyder Cut shit. And so when I kind of came in, you know, and I've had my channel about 6 months now, right? But one of my main reasons for coming on here is because I saw how everything was playing out and how a bunch of these channels just got these damn Zach interviews and they turned their back on us, man. They turned their back on us and I saw it. Like, I saw it happen and I wasn't even getting all of this behind the scenes stuff, but I could see the shift just in their own content, right? So one of my main goals was to come on here and to really highlight those people that I saw like from the beginning and that, you know, and the real people that were really behind this entire movement, right?
Right.
And you
Right.
know, without the work that you guys did, like we would have never gotten this damn film out, and you know that cannot be understated. It
Right.
just
Right. I appreciate that, dog. I really appreciate you saying that because, bro, it was legendary, dog. Like when people talk about they watch the Snyder Cut now, they talk about HBO Max now, and I really have a life story where I'm involved in making that shit happen, bro. I have
facts.
that life story of that, and I see
Yeah,
a lot of people who, when it was time, because when we got that million tweets, Zack Snyder was doing like his wife was down at Warner Brothers, and it was like a leveraging move for us to show that we have that type of force online, right? So now when she's negotiating, she can show, well, bro, we do have a force online. Look at this. We just hit a million tweets, right? So now then the local news, I'm not talking about just like CNN and shit. I'm talking about local news started showing, whoa, Zack Snyder is back in the news because his shit just, so now this goes in history, bro. Every newspaper is saved and archived, bro, forever.
yeah, forever,
So this
forever.
goes in history. We went bigger than the newspaper. So now people tried to take that for them and take that and be like, oh, we got Justice Con and
Yeah.
we got
Mm,
this but dog, you're not around in history. You were around as in just sitting in a chat room, but you didn't put in the work, bro. And
absolutely.
that's the part that turned me off, and that's the part that I just got away from this movement because of that. A lot of people taking shine that don't deserve it. Most people taking
Yeah.
shine that don't deserve it.
Yeah, right. And that's also one of my main motivating factors, right? Is because I've seen how a lot of the OGs, right? You guys went through so much. I've seen a bunch of you guys that are a bit battle weary now, right? So
Yeah, hell yeah.
I have been trying to come in here and try to inject some lifeblood into some of the OGs, and you know, just to really let y'all know, like, yo, you guys are appreciated by us that, that really know what happened. And so, even though times might have gotten crazy and things might have happened, you guys' work is fucking legendary, man. And, don't let them naysayers and people that fucking switched up and all those snakes in the grass kind of kill y'all joy. Cause,
Right, right.
y'all are the like we changed the world, and I couldn't have like the fucking tweets that I fucking had, the money that I fucking donated.
Right.
If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have been doing it, right?
I
So,
appreciate it.
y'all really kept us fucking motivated and was part of that engine that was really driving this whole thing home.
I appreciate that, dog. And I do see you. I do see you. You hit out with a tweet every day. And you got me a lot of followers on Twitter because after you start putting out, your group follow tweets, people just
Yeah,
hit me up. People hit me up from the movement, and I'm looking at it like, some people even told me, yo, I didn't never know you were on Twitter or some shit like that. And I'm like, yo, well, I've been on Twitter, like whatever. But
yeah,
I appreciate what you're doing because I see you and I see the list of names who's in there, and I've been in battle with all them boys. I'm pretty sure I have. And
yeah,
right now it's 2022. I think at that time it was like 2016 to 19 or 20 or whatever. But if we get the movies out, if we continue what we're doing, it's gonna start the fire again. But I just think we got to be more strategic with it. You remember Cyclops when he didn't have his glasses on, his shit go everywhere,
yeah,
and he couldn't focus.
yeah.
If we focus, bro, we could do anything, dog. We
Yeah.
already shown that.
I agree. I agree.
We've already shown that. So if we focus, why are we not doing anything? Why, like, did you come to Earth to not do good shit? Like, it don't make no sense. And the only way it makes sense if, like you say, COINTEL is too involved in this.
Yeah, yo, I literally told I literally told one person because they, I was on a stream and they were talking about how like, they just pretty much just were showing that they didn't have the willingness to just kind of like fight some of these fights. And I literally told him, I'm like, look, man, like that's why when somebody needs to move a mountain, they're gonna call somebody that thinks like me and not somebody that thinks like that. I'm like, because it's that same thinking that we would have never gotten the Snyder Cut in the first place. Once they told us like, hey, it doesn't exist, because we have to remember, that was Warner Brothers leaking that out, right? That it didn't exist. They told you that something that I own right now, I'm looking at the 4K box right now, all right? They told me that that wasn't real. Right? So, you can't just be so freely willing to give up at the first sign of pushback, right? You have to kind of push through that stuff. And I think that resolve is why we got the results that we got versus other fandoms not getting what they want.
Right, I agree, and I think it could translate to anything we want, bro.
Absolutely.
I think it could translate to some world changing shit, because we had plants, we planted our flag in almost every country, bro. You know what I mean? We still got people, and I'm gonna bring you in the chat room. This chat room has gotten way better. We have deleted all the COINTELPRO out of that shit. We haven't had a fight in months, bro. Like everything is good. I'm gonna bring you in that shit. We got
Oh, and I am glad that you took the time to do your due diligence with my channel too, because I think that is very important, just for us to be able to have an honest and open conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, hell yeah. Just your name, bro. Just your name says it all. Skywalker the Jedi. I'm sold, bro, because the Jedi stood against the Empire. You know what I mean? That's what Zach been telling us forever. That's Justice League. That's Watchmen. That's 300. A few chosen people gotta stand up against the Empire, bro. The Empire. So if we got gas at over $5 right now, it's because the Empire is on our right. The Empire says so. So we need Jedis. We need Leonidas. You know what I mean? We need Watchmen. We need everybody to come together and stop this force. But bruh, if we're gonna sit here and talk about, hey Zach, so what did you have for dinner tonight? Like, bro, if you go look, he put out a picture on Vero and everybody's like, oh Zach, what kind of coffee did you have this morning? Bro, if you don't shut the freak up, bro,
like this is not the audience for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
but Zach's audience is a little more complex. You know what I'm saying?
Jedi, bro. It's Jedi. So I think that force is what we're saying. Like, man, when I at first when I'm looking into you're on when you're posting on Twitter, some of those people I don't like in that shit but I'm not gonna never disrespect, and be like, yo, fuck them niggas, blah blah blah. But I see what you're doing. So if you're bringing people together at a like, you just want to push. You're not looking for nothing out of it. You just want to, you want to push the message. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'll help you, or I'll get on your show. But your name, the Jedi, was already enough for me, bro. I was like, yo, all right, it's done, because, bro, that's what we need, dog. That's what we need. What we're doing now with this content, this podcast and shit, we're just using our magic. We're just using our energy that's already in us to create something that either puts the word out or shows people about this or do that or do this or this. But you doing it for the same reasons I started. So, me and you is no different. I don't get no props that you don't got, because we the same person. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel it.
you know, like you're just the 2022 version of the 2016 me. You know, that's just it. And it's just somebody got to do it. You know, somebody got to pass the torch. In that room I'm in, you know, Seal is in that room. You know, Seal, he got his own show. Um, he's, you know, some say he's on fire right now. I hear a lot of people talking about Seal, but
Yeah.
I see a lot of people talking about like Mikey Sutton,
Hmm.
stuff he say on Seal's show and shit like that. But I remember when Seal was you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember when Seal was the new nigga in our room. You know what I mean? That nobody wanted to talk to except me. I remember those days. And if you talk to him, he would say the same thing. You know,
Fact,
so
fact.
so now people are making like memes of Mikey Sutton's tweets and shit like that. But bruh, like you're up next, dog. You're already in line to be up
Oh man.
next. You know, just keep doing what you're doing with that same heart, that same. Don't let these people come around you and COINTELPRO you, bro, because
Oh
they're gonna
man.
try.
Yo, I've already kind of seen it, right? I had one kind of interaction where, I was kind of collabing with a certain channel and things weren't going the way that I thought that they were. And, it was kind of like that same thing. I just kind of had to take a step back and I was like, wait a minute, this is going somewhere that I don't want it to like actually go to,
Right.
because I wanted to keep the focus on like not just me creating content, but interacting with this community. Like that's my main reason for being here.
Right.
Is like, is to connect people that have been in this fucking community and to engage with you guys and to really let y'all know that, you guys have the utmost respect for me, and from my contemporaries, man, because you guys really laid that groundwork, man, and you guys are the damn blueprint, yo. That work that y'all did, that is the real blueprint.
I
Because
appreciate it.
now all these other fandoms, you see the shit every day, how it's from some of the release the Raimi cut.
Right.
When
Correct.
like it's
Right.
like,
Right.
all these other things where it's like all these different cuts and they're using our same damn blueprint. They're
Correct.
flying
Correct.
banners and doing all
Correct.
this other
Doing
stuff,
all
right?
that shit.
Where, that's literally the work that you guys started and that you had such a hand in, like really pushing to the masses.
Right, man. I appreciate that, bro. We did it, and like I said, you think, oh man, it's a lot of people, but those people with the events, you know, those big like events, I would think Vonaldo, Hamad,
Yeah.
um, you know, shit. Will did a lot of those shit like that, but what like planning, I saw them planning this shit in our chat, right? You know, we were all one. So if they're stealing our shit, you know, and they're doing it, but they don't have them people, bro. You know what I mean? I don't
No,
release the Snyder cut. I don't think it, dog.
it
We
can't be
treat
duplicated.
right. We
It
treat
can't be
it like
duplicated.
it can't be, dog. It can't be. I think it's like I don't know, bro. Like sometimes I want to like even Star Wars had fandoms, Marvel's has fandoms, but
Yeah.
bro, those
Hey,
are big.
yo, I always tell people, how long have they been trying to get Kathleen Kennedy fired, right? I mean,
Right.
right? They've been sitting there, fire Kathleen Kennedy, all this other stuff. Her ass keep getting read up,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then
Nobody's
us, on
fucking
the
with it.
other hand, we got exactly what we wanted,
And still
exactly what
getting
we
it.
wanted,
And still
and
getting
still
it.
getting
Right. That's what I
it.
say, dog. You gotta it's on you now, bro, because what's gonna happen, you know, is you just keep talking to people, bro. Talk everybody you can, talk to them. And it's going to create a buzz. And then that buzz is going to be like people going to start asking you, yo, what are you talking about? You know, what are you talking about? And then that way you get your message out. But when you get it out, you got to have a receptive audience first. But you're going to get a receptive audience by continuing to do work, you know, continuing to do what you do. That's the only, because people gonna act like once you blow up, oh, I've been your friend for years and this, that, I always been around, but you gonna know this for yourself, bro. You started out as your humble beginnings, but watch, if you continue to do work and continue to do what you're doing right now, somebody's gonna be interviewing you and be like, yo, dog, I appreciate everything you did. Because I swear I'm just a regular dude, bro. I don't know what I did. I just was around, must be, bro. But I was like, yo, people say that all the time, what you say, and I'd be like, dog, I don't know. Yo, I was on a football chat room the other day, NFL chat room. And I'm sitting there as Mr. West Ashley, as my YouTube name. And this man hit me up. This man was like, yo, release the Snyder cut. He saw me from some release the Snyder cut shit, right? So then I was like, oh yeah, thanks. I said release the Snyder cut, just whatever. But it's something totally opposite from this Hollywood shit. This man proceeded to tell everybody, yo, go subscribe to that dude's page. He knows everything about Zack Snyder's Justice League or something. But what I'm saying is, I never even knew I was touching that dude. You know, I never even knew I was even making a difference to nobody. I just was putting the shit out.
Definitely was, man. You definitely were.
And I appreciate it. Just keep putting the shit out, bro. And that's what you're gonna make a difference, is without a doubt, bro. You know?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Look, I want to ask you like this one final question. You have kind of touched on this, but I want you to really expound, right? With us really being in this space now where we see everything that, you know, has been lining up, showing that Zach is more than likely coming back, and we're going to get all these movies and all these projects and like stuff now, right? One, how excited are you for this to be happening? And like two, what direction specifically do you want the Restore the Snyderverse fans to kind of direct their energy towards after it is announced that Zach is going to be coming back and that we're going to be getting
right. All right. Well, the first thing you should know, as soon as they announce anything positive about Zack Snyder, is going to be a big negative push. So you got to be ready to tell some people online to shut the fuck up and blah blah blah. You got to be ready, because the hate's going to come. But then after that, you got to just like influence people, because like what you said about the WandaVision shit, right? When WandaVision was copying Zack Snyder, a lot of people still don't know that, but a lot of people know what WandaVision is. They just don't know, you know what I mean, what he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, what Disney was doing. So now if we show more people that type of meme or this type of shit, they will be, you know, they will be more interested to see more Zack Snyder movies. He's out in the forefront right now, you know. He's out in the forefront where people know his name, Zack Snyder. But they don't know still how legendary he is. They don't know, like, God damn, Disney just stole a whole scene from this nigga. They don't know that part yet. So that's what y'all gotta do. Y'all have to, if my part with the baton was just interviewing Zack Snyder fans, now I think our next level is showing his content of how legendary his content was. Because he's gonna come out, you know, with trailers, or if he come out with like more movies and Superman 2 and all that shit, he's gonna show, you know, his trailers, and it's gonna be trending and all of this shit. But I noticed people, you know, people get more in line when they, you know, when they see us doing big shit, they get in line because they want to go trending too. But
absolutely,
if you show them the warehouse scene, they're gonna be blown away. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I gotta see that next movie." You know. Yeah. So the only way we keep getting Zack Snyder movies if he's always popular. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if he's always where people like, if he's always a big ticket, you know, we're always gonna get to see his movies. It's very simple. So cancel culture is gonna come at you. So you gotta beat cancel culture. And then after you beat cancel culture, you gotta make sure his work is shown. So
Yep.
Zack Snyder is going to make the work. You just take the work and be like, hey, he was talking about 9/11 right here. I promise you. Or, hey, his fighting scenes look better than Christopher Nolan's fighting scenes. I promise you. Here, look at this. Or, you know, he had this Neuralink theme in his movie in 2013. Here, let me show you. And people will be like, oh my God, I didn't even know. You know?
Yo, I am literally paying one of my coworkers to watch his movies straight through. Facts.
Right.
Like I'm literally giving her $100 to watch his movies. Facts. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
correct.
yeah,
100%.
you're right.
Bro.
You're right.
I'm gonna tell you, I got into a whole relationship one time by showing this girl. This girl came to my apartment. She lived in my apartment complex. She came over. We watched BVS one night. I mean, we watched Man of Steel one night to show her the what I'm doing, you know, because she always see me doing podcasts in the apartment complex. She was like, "Yo, what is it?" I was like, "Let me show you. Let me show you. Let's just watch the movie." And she was like, "Man, I'm not with no comic book shit. You know, I'm comic book fatigued out or whatever." And I said, "No, but it's different. Let me just show you." We sat there and watched all of them, even to the Snyder cut. You know, even we watched to the Snyder cut where watching these movies lasted longer than our relationship together. But the movies are so dope, we still watching them shit, bro. I promise you.
Oh my God, no, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's just we just gotta show the content. Zach got the best shit. And I think our next level of what y'all need to do is, you know, make more memes like that, what that WandaVision shit was. Make more shit like that. You
that
know?
shit was crazy.
That shit was crazy, dog. That's a complete ripoff, bro.
They stole a whole fucking action sequence, like a whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. And nobody knows that. I see people on Facebook like, "Oh, WandaVision is so great," and I'm like, "Bruh, do you see And I shared that meme the other day, and people was like, God damn, dog. I didn't know it was like that. It was so obvious, you know, but that's in like 2022 right now. WandaVision is already a year old, you know, or whatever.
Facts.
But if we just stay on it like that, bro, we're never gonna lose. We got everything else. We just gotta be focused. Put our Cyclops shit on and be focused, dog.
Yeah. What an analogy, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What an analogy.
Yep.
Look, man, I want to thank you, Mr. Wes Ashley. This has been such an honor to have you on this platform, man, and to just be able to chop it up with you, right? I can't wait till the community can actually see this shit, right? So look, you want to tell everybody what you got coming up and where they can find you at?
All right, I appreciate it. You could always find my Snyder Cut shit on Mr. West Ashley 843, and that was my time in the Snyder Cut movement, and some more shit. I have a new channel now.
Go Deep TV.
Go Deep TV. Yep. Yeah. Go Deep TV, and I'm just trying to do more of my shit. You know, I'm trying to do like I know cool people too, and I want to interview them, or I want to. You know, I'm just trying to stay on my shit, and I'm trying to be focused with Go Deep TV. So I got some more interviews coming up. I got one I'm gonna do tomorrow. I got a lot of cool shit coming up. I think right now I'm just trying to find my footing of what I want to put time into. You know, because with Zack Snyder's movie, I knew I wanted to put a lot of time into that. You know, and that. Now I got to find that, because once you do that, you find something you love. It ain't a job no more, you know. Yeah. It's fun.
I will definitely say this: your musical selections are impeccable. You know,
appreciate it, though.
From like the classical stuff to the hip hop, the older hip hop, it's all A1. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, though.
For any musical enthusiast, right, be it hip hop or classical, trust me, check this man's content out, you know what I'm saying, and you will not be disappointed.
Boy, I appreciate you, bro. Well, I might have to send you some money for my PR work, bro. Nah, I'm fucking with you, man.
You already paid me enough just by stopping by. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for coming through. This has been episode 3 of OG Talk with Skywalker the Jedi. and we outro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Word.